Hi, hello. We're back to Passive Pixels again. I'm sorry that fate has brought you here, and I'm sorry that I created a fate that brought both of us back here. Doreen, how are you?
I just slept for 12 hours, so I'm kind of in like that state where I don't know if I'm still awake or I don't know if I'm still sleeping or if I'm awake or if I'm in a coma or not, but it was nice. So,
Doreen, this is the doctor right now. I want you to know that all your loved ones are here. Um, we haven't seen you, we haven't heard your voice since 2019, and we really just need you to wake up at the first chance you get. The medical bills, I know that, this is Canada, but there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So if you could wake up, please.
no, I think I'll just keep sleeping, but thanks.
You know what? Fine. It's okay. Coma dreams are probably better than anything that's going on right now. There's probably less wars. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our lists. You want to read yours off first? Let's change it up.
Sure, let's do it. I got a lot as usual, so here we go. Get your stopwatches out.
Okay.
Wolfenstein 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Cowboy Bebop, Euphoria, It's Such a Beautiful Day, Marry Me, Million Dollar Baby, Don't Look Up, Spencer, Krisha, It Comes at Night, Free Guy, Logan, Antlers, Hell or High Water, Life, Uncharted, the movie, Minari, The Invisible Man, Call Me by Your Name, The Last Duel, The Shape of Water, Tick Tick Boom, and Birdman.
Oh my god, you're gonna blow me out of the water here. Okay, my list. Smiling Friends, Little Big Planet, Marry Me, Don't Look Up, Genius, a Kanye trilogy, Power of the Dog, Euphoria, Voice of Cards 1, Ugh, Charted, Returnal, Police Story, Alita Battle Angel, Horizon 2, and Elden Ring. So you have a ridiculous list. I'm gonna need you to start killing some of them.
Yeah, sure, sure. Well, let's just start off. Fuck, where do we even start? I don't even know. Fuck it. Let's just start with Cowboy Bebop. I guess it's Weeb, so start
Yeah,
as usual with the Weeb shit.
go for it. Now, did you finish that?
I did. It's done. It's finally finished.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're
Yes,
done.
yes. Impressions. Yes.
Yes, it'll stop appearing on my list finally.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's done. Look, it was good. That's it. Nothing more,
Damn it.
nothing less. It was good. I liked it overall. Do I love it? No, I don't. And again, it's kind of that typical anime formula that holds me back from loving it. There's just so much filler in there, man. When it hits its highs, I think it's really good, actually. Like the finale, the last two episodes, I really enjoyed of that show. But again, it's just kind of there's just so much meandering in the middle, and there's so much bullshit that doesn't matter. And even though they're doing more of a fuck, I can't think of the term for it, but when you're not trying to be episodic, you're
Mm.
you know what I mean, right?
Serialized?
Yeah, serialized, I guess, non-serialized. It still doesn't work for me as much, especially with anime. But it was good. I think I will check out the movie at some point and just kind of see what that's all about. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I don't want to murder it, so that's I guess a positive for anime. But I mean, it's still not great. So
The score that I want to give it is that I'm glad it's never going to get mentioned on this show again. Although I assume maybe one day we invite someone and they say it, and I'm like, damn it, I have to eat my words now. Out of 10.
well, I am gonna watch the movie, so we'll get at least one more mention. But
It's the movie. It's the
yeah,
movie. That with cinema claims that one now. Okay, that doesn't count.
yeah, that's fair. I think what did I give it? I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10. So yeah, 3.5. I guess that's where I'm sitting on it out of 5. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right,
All right.
keep
Let me
killing.
just keep.
Keep killing.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Just tell me when to stop, and you want to fucking
Mhm,
say something. All right.
mhm.
Okay. Euphoria. Look, I'm struggling with this one. Like really struggling with this one. There are like in season. So I watched all of season one. In season one, there were 3 episodes I really loved. I like the 2 specials, and the one where they're at the carnival. Those episodes were all really good in my opinion. Everything else has just been kind of painful for me. And
Painful.
I
Ooh,
and I
okay.
what's that?
No, painful.
Oh,
That's a stronger word than I expected.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just there's like I understand that there's going to be the teenage drama and bullshit, and I'm fine with the teenage drama and bullshit. It just feels like sometimes the show is an excuse to show off really pretty cinematography and play great
Hot.
music, and it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's the music's good. But it just reminds me, it honestly reminds me of like throwing on a PS5 game and being like, oh, pretty graphics, but the rest of the game just sucks. And I don't
Did you
know,
say
man.
that specifically like Bugs Bunny? Or was that just like a flip?
No, I think I was the 12-hour sleep coma. I didn't try to.
Pretty graphics.
Pretty graphics. Fuck me.
Xbox wishes.
I think Bugs Bunny is a Euphoria fan, so I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, God damn it. They're both WB products, so you're probably right. I hate
Yeah,
this.
but like the perfect example, and I'm gonna spoiler, so whatever, fucking Euphoria spoiler. Here you go, 3, 2, 1, fuck off. But the finale of season one, so not the special episode, but like the last
I
episode
hate
of
your
season
opinion
one.
for this.
Well, I just man, okay,
I know
she
where you're going here.
relapses. She relapses. I don't need a fucking 10-minute musical number to tell me that she relapses. Like, yes, it's sad. She relapsed. And I guess cool that you're trying to present that in a unique way, but holy shit, it's so self-indulgent. It
Y
drove me nuts.
yes. Yeah, that's you kind of described what Euphoria is. It's
No, and I get it.
self-indulgent to
So
show off.
yeah. So I just don't think it's for me. I've watched 2 episodes now of season 2, and I honestly think even less of them, I think. So
Ooh.
I'm really on the edge of dropping. I kind of want to finish season 2 now because I've already started it, and there's only like what I think like technically like 5 more episodes or 6 more episodes. But I don't know. We'll see. So
Wait,
yeah,
so did
that's my
you didn't talk about the special episodes at all, though?
Oh, yeah, those were amazing. Yeah, sorry, don't
Oh, okay.
again. So the special episodes, like I said, there were 3 episodes I really liked: the carnival and the special episodes. And those special episodes are absolutely fantastic. If the show is more of that, and I don't
Yes.
mean like it doesn't just need to be all dialogue, like they can change it up, like right. But if the special episodes are more of that, that would be fucking incredible. Like that's some good shit. So it shows me that with those special episodes, they know what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
like they actually do know what they're doing. They're just
Yeah.
choosing not to do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's funny because I remember what was it? No, you could I honestly probably go back to like one of the first episodes of the show where I talked about Euphoria and I talked about the special episodes being like, whoa, holy shit, that was actually well done. That was serious. That was handled with a bit of gravitas. That's incredible. And then you can jump back a few episodes ago when I watched season two, and it's like, oh wow, maybe the special episodes are a sign of the show changing. And then season two goes, nah, we're back to the bullshit. And it's like, ooh, you know what? I think I'm okay with either one. So you know what? I have been watching season two, but in that same breath, I've been watching some of the episodes of season one again, and it's actually impressive to me more than anything else that the presentation in season two is above and beyond better in every single facet than season one. Honestly, rewatching season one, it looks low budget compared to season two, and it's something that never entered my mind because in my mind, season one still looks gorgeous. But watching season two, it's kind of crazy to me that season one looks that jank now. But yes, pretty much season one and two, you're back on the same bullshit, except season two's cinematography and music choices. I don't remember how many songs season one gave me that I added to my playlist. Season two, though, on a good fucking roll. Are there characters? Yes. Are they back on their bullshit? Yes. Am I enjoying that bullshit? Yes. I don't honestly care that much about any of the characters except maybe Lexi and Fez, and that's because, well, they're just legends. You know, you watch that show, they're probably the only people you can root for in season two, and you know what? That's okay. But, anyways, season two, been enjoying it. This last episode, oh my fucking god! It's even in a vacuum, it's just incredible to watch. So, well, okay, maybe that's false. If you watch everything up to that, I would find it very hard to find that a very enjoyable episode. So yeah, Euphoria. Whew. Ooh man, another episode tomorrow. I'm very excited.
So yeah, that's all I have to say on Euphoria. I will. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I keep going on it. I'll leave you in suspense until the next episode.
Fair enough. All right, Euphoria. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a score of HBO Max. Thank you so much for upping your bit rate before season two, because now I don't see fragmenting and all the smoky, gorgeous shots that A24 is giving us. Out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a crave out of 10. Because
Oh
fucking
no,
Great,
yeah.
Great Crave has not improved any of that shit, and it looks like shit. So that's unfortunate, but what can you do? All right, I'm gonna jump back to games then. Let's talk about Wolfenstein 2. Also,
Mhm,
finally finished this one.
mhm.
Look, really fun story. Gunplay is really good. I enjoyed a lot of the twists in the story and the actual gameplay twists. Like I thought that was all really well done. Let me just get cut right to the chase though. When we talked last episode, you said that there was a second area of bullshit. Were you talking about the very end?
Um, yes,
Yeah.
pretty close. Oh, you know what? How about this? How about this? Get your impressions out of the way
All
because I
right. All
feel
right.
like there's a lot of spoilers that we can get at from
All
here.
right. So anyway, the last area is total fucking ass, and it can absolutely go fuck itself. Unfortunately, I was having issues with my Xbox console. Now, in doing
Incredible.
some research afterwards, apparently it's not the console itself, but that game specifically overheats Xboxes. Like it's a constant problem. AJ, shout out to AJ, who we'll hear from him in a bit on a special episode. He was telling me that it actually overheated his One X, so he had to put it down. And it sounds like it's a constant issue. So, and of course, mine started having that issue on the very last area, which is painfully difficult. So I basically just had to rage and say, no, you know what? I'm going to end up like doing this and then it's going to overheat and I'm going to actually destroy this controller until it's a million tiny little pieces. So I moved it down to easy because I was like, I'm not going to fucking do this and have it overheat on me and just be bullshit. And I beat it first try. So it felt very hollow, unfortunately, but I was like, I'm not fucking dealing with overheating on top of this. This is bullshit. But all that being said, even despite all that, I still really enjoyed the game overall. And yeah, I thought it was better than the first one. So yeah.
I just want to say that when you said that AJ had to take the Xbox back out, it just makes it sound like, ah, shit, it's overheating. And he just slowly loaded up the double barrel. And he's like, well, it's about time now.
Well, I felt like
Damn it,
doing that
Wolfenstein.
too until I found out it was a problem with the game and not my Xbox. It was like, come on, this is my second fucking Series X. I'm having problems with this one too.
Oh,
So,
God, I
yeah.
forgot. What was the first one? The HDMI
Just
issues?
no, just stop powering on.
Oh, God. Wait. Oh, wait, holy shit. Did you have the same issue that my PS5 had?
Yeah, actually, I did. I think it just wouldn't power on. Yeah, wouldn't
Yeah,
turn
how
on.
the fuck did I not make this connection? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, spoilers. Let's three, two. Well, actually, do my impressions matter? Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll cover that really quickly. Wolfenstein 2. It was fine. It was all right. By the time I got to the end, I was like, this it feels like a step down from the first game. I don't really want another one. So, and then Phil Spencer went in, swooped in, bought them to confirm, yeah, you don't care about this anymore because, as we've established before, Phil Spencer makes only moves depending on how little interest I have in it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. How about the moment you get fucking decapitated in front of an entire group? Your head falls down, they catch it, they reattach you and keep you alive.
Yeah, it's wild shit, man. Like I said, I really appreciate some of the some of the leaps of logic this story takes compared to the first one. I don't know, like they set the tone pretty early on that it's going to be pretty silly to me, so I didn't mind it. Like I can understand people not liking it because it is quite a drastic departure from the first one. But no, I really enjoyed it. And then you got to pick like that kind of special power that you want after, which I thought was cool because it kind of lets you play the game in different ways. Which one did you go for?
I went stilettos. Come on, I gotta be able to explore more.
Okay, yeah, I went for the crouching that you could crouch and do stealth shit.
Mm.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I liked it.
So now to dive deeper into this, that spot from like when you get no, to the spot that you go from the house all the way until you get decapitated, I think is actually perfect. Yes, that fight in the courtroom is really bullshit, and it's like that's the first spike in difficulty you get in the game. And yes, you are right that the other spike is whenever you're on top of the ship. I remember specifically this wide open area, these little I don't know. They're covered spots. And that's the spot where it's just really bullshit to get to fight through. I still think that maybe the courtroom is harder because weapons OSP, like you actually have to kill people to get their weapons to be able to progress. At least in the other spot, I can still run 1,000 miles an hour while dual wielding shotguns. So it took a little bit of time, but I wasn't too angry about that one as much as I was the courtroom.
Yeah, I think I would have been fine with it honestly, but the overheating just really set me into rage. Eh?
Yeah.
Like if I had enough cracks at it, I would have done it eventually. Like it was hard, but like and it was kind of bullshit. But I was like, oh, I probably would have got through this. But coupled with the overheating, like if I had done it and then it overheated, I would have just destroyed everything. So
Okay, you know what? Fair point. If your console's trying to fucking kill itself in the middle of playing, maybe not exactly the best idea, especially when it's hard to find these fucking consoles. Um, okay, so I did want to go back to how you mentioned tone. The tone is set on early, but the problem is I didn't like the tone. Specifically, that scene where you meet the resistance leader and they're having a shootout, and the camera's just like all these crazy low pans, and it's like it's trying to make everything look so super dramatic, but also real stylish. And I kind of just really hated that it just ended up affecting how I felt about that character because that doesn't exactly happen in the presentation until that character shows up. I don't even remember who it is. It's the black lady that is in this game, but also in Jedi Fallen Order. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
remember the character's name, but I know who you mean.
yeah. Basically, I kind of don't like the wacky tone in this one because in the first one, I kind of like that it took itself seriously while at the same time, yeah, there's robotic Nazi dogs that breathe fire. Whatever. Like, I kind of like that it had those two conflicting things, but then this game kind of just going fuck it and then just allowing the wacky out. It always made me go, this actually isn't kind of what I liked about the original one.
Yeah, that's fair. I think for me, it's just like again, I didn't like the first game is a perfectly like I thought it was a good game, really good actually. So I didn't mind it so much, but I don't know. It's just something about them just saying, okay, you know what? We're kind of straddling that line. Maybe we should jump to one side of it. And then they just fucking dove completely off the fucking deep end with this one. So I don't know. There's some kind of appreciation for that. Like we're in spoiler territory now, right? I forgot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we are. Like when you're doing the fucking Nazi like lines with Hitler. I'm just like, what
Oh,
the fuck? This is incredible. And then there's that one scene where you could actually just go and kick Hitler and it like gives you a bad ending. I was like, that's amazing. So
golden.
like that was so fucking fantastic. I love that bit. It's so good.
Ho- Honestly, any trophy that pops during that game that's like, oh, chapter, you got to the moon, that percentage should be the exact same amount as people who killed Hitler. And if it's not, I feel like you should be put on a list.
Yeah, like who doesn't go over to Hitler and be like, can I oh I can kick him? Fuck yeah, let's
Yeah.
kill Hitler. It's so
God.
great. Loved it.
But yeah, that entire space section I think was like the right balance of wacky while still keeping it grounded. I really just do think that this game is mostly a tonal problem, but then again, I also have the gameplay issues. I don't remember if I mentioned them last time, but fuck it, I'll do it again. Um, I don't like that the gameplay feels very much like Doom, but all of your health and how quickly you can die tells you, no, 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 don't do that. You could play like that, but you really shouldn't. And I don't like the conflicting ideas in the gameplay. You can have conflicting ideas in tone, but like conflicting ideas in gameplay don't encourage me to do something that I really shouldn't, like at all. I realize that that might sound hypocritical later on, but I swear that I'll make my better argument. I'm talking about Elden Ring. We'll get there. So yeah, Wolfenstein. Phil made the right choice out of 10.
I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it up with games. I played Little Big Planet. Now, you know it's 2 a.m. You just woke up from a nap that you took way longer than you should have. You're eating a slice of cheese. You're watching a YouTube video about how ridiculous shark shows are. Who was it? I think Eddie Burback. I'm just doing this, right? And then I stumble upon future friend of the show, Real Radic, on YouTube's channel, and he's talking about Little Big Planet. And now I don't remember what he was talking about when it comes to Little Big Planet, and I just start getting really nostalgic. I'm thinking, man, Little Big Planet. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna find two $10 copies. I'm gonna find Little Big Planet 1 and Little Big Planet 2. I'm gonna play these games. I'm gonna see how they're like. And you know what? Little Big Planet 1. I must have been just a cracked gamer harder when I was a child because this game kind of pushed me a little bit. Is the game good? Yes. Is it now? Here's the thing. I remember specifically when I was younger seeing that this game was getting like nines across the board, blah 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 blah. And this is probably a good argument why scores are fucking stupid because I can look at that and think, that's around the territory of best games on a platform. Do I think Little Big Planet 1 is one of the best games on the platform? No. playing this game so closely to Super Mario 3D World kind of gave me a taste from how platformers should be. And then I realized, oh man, Little Big Planet is a little finicky. Now, the thing that makes Little Big Planet kind of special is that it is a physics based platformer. Now, the thing with that is that the strength of that is that if you are jumping around, the physics getting wonky is part of the fun of it. The part where it doesn't become fun is when you're trying to jump on a skeleton head that is a dome and you're out of the sweet spot and the physics are like, Sackboy has just like 0.2% momentum, so that means that he's going to slide off like nothing. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to measure the physics of the game, and occasionally it feels like, oh, son of a bitch, I didn't know I was running too fast and it caught the momentum whenever I jumped over there. I'm kind of hoping that Little Big Planet 2 fixes that, but we'll get there. All I want to say is that Little Big Planet 1 is still a very fun game. It is honestly being carried so much by the charm of the game. I kind of like that since video games are very complicated to make, that since these levels are all made in the same level editor the game provides you. So like you can tell that Media Molecule, the developers, did not cheat at all in making these levels. You can see the strings that are attached, and if you really wanted to, you could recreate every single level in that game using the level editor. And I kind of dig that because games are such black boxes of how they get made, that to have a game just go, yeah, this is how it was made. And you can look at it, you can see the triggers hidden in the levels that are telling you this is how it was made. And I think that's just really fucking cool. The music is also something that I was like, oh my god, some of my music taste might have been influenced by this, and I didn't realize it until now. So yeah, Little Big Planet. I'm still very happy that I played it again, but it definitely took a knock after some time of coming back to it.
Yeah, so to keep the train of negativity going, or I don't
That's
know,
Passive Pixels.
or Passive Pixels in general. Yeah, I don't like Little Big Planet. I never have. I think it's incredibly overrated. For one, I think the only reason these games have any sort of relevancy or nines out of tens. You want to talk about nines out of tens? I feel like the reason they got these nines out of tens was because you could create your own game in it, which I
Mm,
have zero fucking interest in doing. Yes, I know there's a shitty platformer game inside of there that's not yeah, it's not Mario. It's not like anything close to being that quality. Sure, it's fine. I'm sure it's perfectly acceptable platforming for the time, but that's not what they were known for. They were known for the create your own level bullshit. Like when you think of Little Big Planet, that's what I think of anyways. And that's just boring to me. The actual game itself, I did play it, I did beat it, and it's fine, but it's absolutely nothing special in my opinion. It's like a fucking 6 out of 10 for the actual gameplay itself. And yeah, I don't like it. Ugh.
I like how charming it is, and I almost think that the overrating isn't what you're saying. Part of me just thinks that it was 2008, and what else did the PS3 have?
Well, I mean, that's fair, but you can't. I mean, whatever. Reviewers are going to do what they're going to do, obviously, but you can't just say, "Hey, this is like the best platformer on a PS3, so we better give it 9 out of 10s." Like, fuck
I
people.
mean, it
You got to
was.
compare. You got to compare it to the quality of the game, but that's game journalism for you. So what am I saying?
I mean, to be fair, that is probably the best platform on a PS3 because, like, point to another one.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, fair, fair. I'm just saying. I'm just saying you can't say, "Hey, this is the best platform on a PS3, so we're going to give it high marks." No, you have to compare it to other platformers, even if it's not on the platform, right? Because you've got a high bar of platformers. Like, there's lots of very good platformers out there that might not be on your console specifically, or might be third party, but still, that's what we have to compare to. And Little Big Planet ain't it cheap? Not for me.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give the score. I'm gonna go ahead and give the score of, you have the charm like Mario, you just don't got the hops like Mario, out of 10.
A solid 6 out of 10 for me.
All right, you continue. That was my one. There's a shitload I know you're pretty sure that you still have.
Oh yeah. All right. So back to movies. We'll start with "It's Such a Beautiful Day." So,
Ooh.
congratulations to Moki, who was officially introduced into the Passive Pixels universe last week. You're going to get a second mention. He basically, I'm stupid. That's canonically correct?
It's
You all know
canonically
that by
part
now.
of the Passive Pixels
And
universe.
that's also part of the Passive Pixels universe. It's so stupid I am. So in the Discord, Ed posted these like steel books from this guy because they were just horrible lighting. They looked really weird. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on. It looks like some like anime sex dungeon. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what was going on with that. But he posted this and like, look at this guy. I want to like shoot this guy. These are terrible. I don't know if you said shoot that guy, but you probably wanted to.
No, no, no. It's more of just looking at them. It's like, why would you even post this? Like, you're
Yeah.
trying to sell this.
Yeah. So I just completely ignored it. I'm not even going to look at these because this is so horrible looking. But if anyone knows, I have the Trails of Cold Steel 1, 2, and 4 steel books. The 3 one is near impossible to find. Like it's incredibly expensive, and you can really only find it in the collector's editions, and people are selling those for like $300-$400. Like they're impossible to find otherwise. So I hadn't really been looking for it for a little while. And then Moki pointed out, he's like, did you notice that picture? Are you stupid? So I was like, what? And then I realized, oh shit, that's a Cold Steel 3 Steelbook. So I ended up getting it. As a thanks to Moki, I'm like, hey, I'll watch like one movie you want me to. And then Ed, you strong armed your way, and they're like, no, it should be 3. So
Hey, hey, look,
now I'm doing
I
3.
am here about negotiating. I'm all about deals, okay?
Yeah, fuck you. So now I'm doing 3. Anyways, and 2 of them
Hey,
are
you
on the
have
way.
that steelbook now, okay? Is it worth the
That's
3
true.
movies?
That's true. Not yet. It's on the way, but yes, it
Okay,
will be when it gets here.
the FedEx has it, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one is It's Such a Beautiful Day, which is a really short, it's only an hour long animation piece. I think what's the guy's name? I should look it up, or Moki's going to yell at me. One sec.
Mhm.
It's such a beautiful day. It's not though. That's a lie.
Does
I'm
it
lying.
matter if he gets
Don
mad?
Hertzfeld. Don Hertzfeld. He does a lot of animation stuff. He's been nominated, and I think won some Oscars and stuff like that. Look, this was pretty good actually. I was expecting it to be far worse than it was, and it's not. It's actually pretty good. It's a lot deeper than I was expecting, and it really is kind of an interesting look at your impending mortality and just all of our mortalities and how one day you're going to wake up and things aren't going to be so peachy. And I wasn't quite expecting that, and I don't know if I was ready for that before I watched it either. But the story they told here was really good. It was it was deep, and I appreciated that. I think the biggest issues I have with the movie or the animation itself and the way it's presented is just so gaudy sometimes. It's hard to look at, and the narration that they use kind of grates by the end of it, and it's only an hour long. So it gets a little bit old by the end of it. Those are my biggest issues with it, and I feel it kind of does the story and the message a disservice. But it's also hard because the way it ends, which I'm not obviously going to spoil because you'll probably watch it one day, Ed. But
Yes.
the way it ends, it would be impossible to do any other way unless it was presented in this medium. So it's kind of a catch-22, and I understand it in that case.
Yes.
But yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. Way better than I was expecting.
I will say that I am very excited anytime that something in an art piece takes in consideration the medium it's in. So I'm already in.
Yeah, that is definitely the neatest part for me is how it ends and kind of how they do that. And you'll see what I mean when you get there. But yeah, no, overall, I don't have much more to say than that. It's just like it's a tough watch, but it's good. Definitely don't watch that if you want something cheerful. It is not, as the title would suggest, a beautiful day. Um, and yeah, it's actually pretty hard to get. I don't know in America if it's as hard, but in Canada, like I had to like I was actually Brandon who shouted out that link to me, and I was able to rent it for one day on Voodoo or View or whatever that was. I already
Oh,
forgot
you
the name
actually
of it.
rented it?
Yeah, I rented it. I found it a place to rent.
Oh, I could
So
have sworn that the link that was posted was Vimeo or something like that,
yeah,
and it was actually the creator who uploaded it.
yeah, Vimeo. Yeah, but you have to rent it from Vimeo.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Vimeo has renting capabilities?
yes, they do.
Wow, cool. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, I didn't know
Please
that either,
cite YouTube.
and it worked pretty well actually. So that was cool. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. So that's gonna be a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
That's gonna be. I kind of hope that it makes me sad enough that I could watch Paddington 2 afterwards out of 10.
All right. Next up, okay. Are we gonna save the stuff we both watched till the end?
No,
Is
I
that
mean, whatever order you want to do.
All right, let's talk about "Marry Me" then, shall we?
Ah, I should have
let's
said
let.
it to the end.
So I will start because I'm going to be a lot more positive on this. Look, this is so I saw this in theaters. I've been memeing this movie like for quite a bit because I think Owen Wilson and J Lo in a romantic comedy is just hilarious to me. Like I don't know, there's something about the idea of that somehow this movie got cast, it got made. It's just hilarious to me. So it's like I have to see this. Like I have to see if this is a train wreck or what this is. And I gotta say, in terms of like shock for enjoyment, this is one of the most shocked movies I've had in a long time, but I really enjoyed it. Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez, they've just got such amazing chemistry here, and they're so cute together, and it's done so well. I mean, yes, it is a romantic comedy, and every single romantic comedy trope in the books is there. If you do not like romantic comedies, you will not like this movie. There is nothing for you here, nothing. But
But you
be,
don't.
what's that?
But you don't like them.
Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I gotta watch some more now after this. There's just something about those two that had such good chemistry together. The story was just so fucking stupid and ridiculous that it made me kind of enjoy it. Like the premise is just insanity. Like, oh yeah, like hey, I'm on stage and I've just found out I've been cheated on. Let me marry this random guy. Well, now we're gonna stay together for publicity and fall in love. Like it's so stupid. It's it's just so far out of the realm of possibility. It's more unrealistic than anything that happened in Wolfenstein 2. I'm sorry. But it's still, I don't know, I still enjoyed it. And by the way, I would love to see a Marry Me too, because I think those two could get up to some more hijinks together.
Marry me. Marry me. This entire month has just been a shit show for movies for me. Literally, only one movie that I have on my list is one that I enjoy. So that probably just spoils exactly all my opinions for the rest of these movies. Marry Me was boring as hell. I was just so you know what? I just realized something. Because this is an entire episode where I hated almost all the movies that I watched, I realize now that every single time that I paused the movie, there was always about 50 minutes left. Whether it was Marry Me, Don't Look Up, Power of the Dog. I didn't look up Uncharted, but I feel like I did look at my watch around that point. So we'll just go ahead and count that. Alita Battle Angel, all of them were like, oh, 50 minutes left. Fuck. And Marry Me is no exception. I honestly tuned out at this movie after like 20 or 30 minutes. And I think it was probably around the point that she went, yeah, I'll marry you. I just realized that I don't like Jennifer Lopez. I don't know what it is. I just don't like her. Ever since she played Selena, there's been nothing afterwards that I've liked. And I think Selena is honestly because of the music and maybe because like I can't even guess from there. Marry Me. No. No. I even right now when I'm trying to talk about it, I'm struggling to try to remember it because I feel like my mental state has specifically purged that movie so I don't have to feel bad about it.
I like the silence there. I thought that was good. I wanted to keep it going. That's just your mind
You know
trying to
what? Fuck it.
think
I'm
of.
not cutting the silence.
No, I wouldn't either. That's just your mind trying to rack your brain for anything to say about this movie, and you can't remember it. Look, I forgot to mention the first, and it's funny because you tuned out. I mean, you'd already tuned out by that point, but the first like 30 minutes of this movie are nearly downright awful. Like they are really bad. And I was sitting there in the theater watching this. I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be horrible. But it actually, in my opinion, improves after that and goes to like you kind of get some charm and some joy there. But that
Wait,
first
hold on.
20,
I just remembered something. I don't
okay,
like the music at all in this movie, whether if it's the score or the actual music that's being
you like
played. So like
marry me, marry me,
you
marry
see,
me,
that's the thing.
marry
You're
me.
saying it, and my brain is like, I've never heard of that song in my entire life. I've specifically gone into a fugue state where I see that movie
uh,
on this list, and I don't think I ever seen it.
oh my god. Anyways, I won't keep us here longer than required with marry me. I just look. I'm gonna say this, and then I'll leave it. You don't get a lot of like high budget, which it is high budget for its kind of romantic comedy movies. So that was kind of cool to see that in theaters. Most of that stuff is just direct to video now, and I know you're gonna say it shouldn't be, haha, but it was cool to see that in theaters, and I enjoyed it. So
I want to say that my score is going to be Go watch Crazy Stupid Love out of 10 instead.
Yeah, that is a better movie. I agree. Marry Me is a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Keep going because god damn is there so much.
All right, let me just do this really quick because I don't have much to say. Spencer, I rewatched it. It's still very
Mm.
good. Kristen Stewart should still get Best Actress. It's still my second favorite movie of the year. Gorgeous cinematography, amazing music. So there we go. I still love Spencer.
Okay, Spencer. Letterbox is a really good app to be able to keep your movies logged and tracked and what you want to see. To add to that, if you pay for their premium service, which is like $20 a year, you can have Letterbox notify you when movies in your watch list have gone on to streaming services that you own. Well, oh, you know what I mean. And I saw that Spencer got on Hulu, so will I watch that at some point? Mm. Will Elden Ring get in the way of that? Probably. Out of 10.
Oh, Spencer. Okay. Million Dollar Baby. Let's talk about Million Dollar Baby.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
So,
ooh.
this was really great stuff here. I had never seen this. This was from director Clint Eastwood, who I really, really, really love. Like he is going to be like, not all of his movies are amazing. Like his Gran Torino and The Mule, amazing pieces of cinema. No, but I love them because the heart he puts into his movies are great. And there's always some like really racist line he gets to spout out that makes me laugh during the movie. I'm not gonna lie. So that's a plus too. But yeah, I mean, look, Million Dollar Baby, it's a really fantastic movie, and I understand now why it basically swept every Oscar award it could. The only one it didn't win was Best Actor, which I forget who won, but Eastwood lost that one. But Best Actress, Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, I believe it won all of those other ones, and I understand why now. This movie's really fantastic. It's very powerful. It's a gut punch throughout the entire movie. You get to grow and care for some of these characters so much. Obviously, I'm kind of dancing around because you haven't seen it, but
Mm.
I don't want to get into full spoilers or anything. But yeah, it's just really great. The only thing, like this would be a 5 out of 5 movie for me, but the only thing that takes me out of it is some of this movie is really unrealistic. And I normally don't have
Mhm.
a problem with unrealism, except when you're going for realism. And in like Wolfenstein 2 or Marry Me, that's not really a problem because I'm like, okay, this is just stupid. But for a movie like this, so the movie's about boxing, and there's stuff that happens like in a boxing match. And I'm like, no, that would never happen. Like that is like incredibly unrealistic. Like I
Mhm.
cannot suspend my disbelief for that. So that kind of brings it down a little bit, just a smidge for me. But other than that, I fucking love this movie. It was really great.
I want to do a back to back of this one and The Wrestler because both of those are movies that I haven't seen, and I almost wonder if there's enough of a tangential connection between the two of them that it makes for a good back to back.
Have you seen Black Swan?
Yes.
Okay, then do that. I was gonna say if you haven't, Black Swan and The Wrestler are the better back to back. But if you've
Oh,
already
oh
seen
yeah,
Black,
girl power, of course,
yeah.
but
But
eh,
if you've already seen Black Swan, then yeah, honestly, that would probably be a good one. Wrestler's a really great movie too, by the way. So I like that one
hmm.
a lot as well. I love Darren Aronofsky. He's one of my favorites. Definitely, that would be a solid back to back. I think you'd enjoy those movies.
All right, this is gonna be fuck it, we're doing this again. Let's check Letterbox and see if it's streaming anywhere and if it's something that I may do soon. Dollar baby. HBO Max. Okay, that is maybe in the cards. Out of 10.
It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I really liked them.
All right, how many more do you have on your list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16.
I have 11. So go ahead and knock out just a couple more, and then we
All
can
right.
start rotating back and forth.
All right, we're catching up. I'll try to stave stuff that we both have then. Okay, let's do the Trey Edward Schultz block next. So
Ooh.
we're going to knock out 2 here. Krisha and It Comes at Night. Um, so you've seen neither of these, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we'll dance around once again. Krisha. Look, Krish is a very interesting movie. So this is his debut. He actually did a short, which I haven't seen, of this basically same idea, and then developed it into a full-length film. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat's a little clogged up today.
Hot.
Yeah. This movie was only made for $30,000, and the entire cast is himself and his family members. That aside, that's probably the most shocking part about this movie because it does not feel like a $30,000 movie, and it does not feel like a movie that's made of your family members as cast. It's incredible. Like for that budget And they considering that the fucking main character is his auntie, like, come on. The movie's really, really good. It's just it's claustrophobic at times in its feel. It's basically the story of like coming back together with family after some demons and trying to erase those demons. And it's just, oh my god, there are parts of this movie that make you just want to cringe out of your skin of embarrassment. And it does it so well. And it's hard to explain more if you haven't seen it, but I will say again, not a lot of people have heard about this. It's on Amazon Prime in Canada at least, and I would implore anyone who's listening to this to check this out because it's from the same director as Waves, which everyone knows now after last week. I fucking love that movie. Still can't stop thinking about that movie. I need to rewatch it soon. I got the Blu-ray.
Ooh.
But this movie is just very, very, very good stuff. And it's funny because, well, I'll let you talk first if you want to say anything, but it's so funny to me because this movie felt like more of a horror movie than It Comes at Night. And that's hilarious considering how It Comes at Night was marketed. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I have nothing to add about two of these outside of Waves is really good, and if that director did those other two movies, then sure, you've gotten enough credit from Waves that I should watch those. I just checked, both of them not streaming anywhere. Thank you.
That's a shame. Yeah, so Krisha's very good. So Krisha would be a 4 to 5 for me. It Comes at Night, on the other hand, this is so disappointing because, yeah, look, we all know that A24 kind of tricks people into seeing Kino sometimes. That's kind of their whole marketing strategy.
The best.
And normally I'm fine with that, but this one really did dirty because if you watch the trailers for it or you watch any sort of advertising for it, it makes you think you're in the mood for a straight up horror movie. Like it's really relentless with making you think this is going to be a horror movie, and it's nothing close to that. And that's really unfortunate because I really did think it ruined any chance of success this movie had because the reviews are so split on it now because of that. And I mean, maybe this is just another example of why you should never watch trailers. But yeah, completely ruined a lot of people's experience with this movie. But this movie's fucking great. And again, you know, Trey Edward Schultz, the man has some tricks up his sleeves, and the things he does with aspect ratios and just stuff in general to kind of tell a story within the movie, I think is incredible. And it just keeps you, this movie, the tension in it, and just wondering what's going to happen next and where it's going. It's just, it's so well done. And I'll say this maybe has my favorite final shot of any movie I've seen in a long goddamn time. Like,
Mm.
and I mean, I'm talking like one of my personal favorites is Enemy. I love the final shot of Enemy. I think it's incredible. This is up there. Like, this is just so well done in my opinion. So I absolutely adore this movie, and it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. And it's Trey Edward Schultz is easily one of my favorite directors now after rewatching all this, rewatching this because my second time seeing this one, and then watching Krisha and Waves for the first time. The man is a genius to me, and I'm very excited to see what his next picture is.
Uh, Sadly, I don't have anything extra to add besides A24. Please continue to trick people into watching Kino because even if they didn't like it, too fucking bad. You spent the money on it. Out of 10.
Fair enough. Okay, what will we jump to next? Let's do Logan now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I rewatched Logan as part of my collection watch. First time watching in 4K. Very nice cut, by the way. Sadly, not Logan Noir, but still very good nonetheless.
It's
Um,
okay. Don't worry. Honestly, I watched it in black and white. It's very nice. Honestly, it just feels like a very nice OLED showpiece, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to do that again.
Fair enough. Look, Logan's fantastic. It's one of the few. I hate this, but it is, in my opinion, it's true. It's one of the few comic book movies that just kind of elevates it being above a comic book movie because it's really, you could take it, you could strip all the comic book bullshit away from it, and it's still just a very good, seriously well done made movie. Hugh Jackman in this finally gets to play the Wolverine he really should have always played. Like this is just the perfect encapsulation of that character. And it's just, this movie is so dark and depressing and bleak until it's not, and it's just the perfect way to end the story of not only Wolverine but just the X-Men in general. And of course Disney's gonna come along and fucking ruin all that now. But like, if there was never another X-Men movie again, I would be totally content and happy because of how fucking great this ends things. And it's so well done in my opinion. So I mean, Logan is just amazing. I'm sure we've showered its praises on here before, but yeah, it's just such an incredible movie.
Logan is so good that even when you consider all the bad X-Men movies that have existed, all of them, and you could probably multiply that by 10, would still be worth the amount of one Logan. And I don't know if there's anything else I need to say beyond that.
No, it's really true. It absolutely makes up for every shit Wolven origin movie, all the shitty X-Men movies in general, and there's some good ones in there too. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the reboot with Vaughn is amazing too.
Yeah,
Or not the reboot,
X-Men First Class and
yeah,
X-Men 2.
yeah, First Class, really great stuff. So
Still need to find a steelbook for First Class though. It's just
yeah, they're
still
kind of
sitting off to the edge.
some of them are ugly too, unfortunately. Like the ones
I'm
on,
trying to find the one that's just a shot of Magneto.
yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, the one on Zavi isn't very appealing to the eyes, in
It's
my opinion.
literally
Anyways.
just the cover. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's actually worse than the cover because at least the cover has the X logo and it has McAvoy on one side and Fassbender on the other. This one is worse because it includes Jennifer Lawrence looking bored as hell.
Yeah, I got the Sealy for Logan, and it's not great either. Unfortunately, it's a little bit better in person. It's not as bad, but it's still not great. So, but
It's terrible because it's like this movie, like the movie specifically has comics in the movie. You could have just done it in that style, and that would have
yeah,
been all right. But instead, you just do generic comic book styles. Like, why? Why? This movie deserves better.
yeah, I got done dirty in the Steely department for sure. As always on Passive Pixel, it's an important part of the experience. But no, really good movie. A fantastic movie. 4.5 out of 5. I love Logan. I mean, if you haven't somehow seen Logan, honestly, I really don't even think you need to have seen any of the other X-Men movies. Just go watch that. It's great.
Logan is going to be, well, actually, that phrase that I said about 10 times worth one Logan out of 10.
Perfect. Let's go into life.
All
So
right. All right.
life.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, not
I
that life.
love Martin
Yeah.
Lawrence.
So let me be clear. This is the life with my boy, Jake Gyllenhaal.
A friend of the show, obviously from his award that he specifically showed up to give out during the Tendies episode.
Yes, the friend of the show. Yeah, look, all right. Everyone hates this movie. I'm probably the only person on planet Earth that actually really fucking likes this movie. So the life stands. If you are somehow out here and listening to this, and this podcast blows up because there's like 20 people who like life, and you all start joining and listening to it now, congratulations, welcome to the show. I actually randomly, so I've seen this movie now 3 times, and I randomly saw it in movie theaters. Like, I knew nothing going into it. I went to the theaters. I'm like, what do I want to watch today? I don't even know. Like, now I research before I go usually, but at that time I was like, oh, fuck it, let's just go see this light. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. That sounds cool. So I saw it, and I don't know, man. To me, this is like, you take like an episode of The Twilight Zone, you take like an episode of The Outer Limits, and then you take the movie Alien, and you roll that, combine all that into this weird Play-Doh lump, and you roll that all into one. And that's kind of what you get with life. And it's a lot of fun to me. It takes a lot of tropes, but it kind of turns them on their heads of the genre. There are a lot of good twists and things you don't expect in the movie. And the ending is still just one of my favorite endings to a movie ever. It's just such a fuck you, and I love it. It's so mean-spirited. Like, this movie is so mean-spirited in the way it's presented and the way it ends. And I don't know, there's just something in my cold, dead heart that makes me appreciate it, I think.
I mean, because you said it was mean-spirited, that's literally the last thing where I was like, I'm ready to write this movie off. And you said mean-spirited. It's like, ugh. God damn it. Maybe then. But like, also, I know nothing about this besides you being the only advocate of it, and well, we know the only other movie that you're an advocate for is Prometheus, and well, I don't know about that, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, this isn't as good as Prometheus, so I'll say that too.
And if that's the bar, oh no.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. There's something. I don't know. There's just something. There's just something great about this movie in general that makes me just. I don't know. Every time I watch it, I just have enjoyment in it. So, oh, by the way, can I just say, do you? I don't know if you have any. Do you have any of the Sony 4Ks with the stupid like memory menu options and stuff like that?
Memory menu options.
They're fucking horrible. So there's 2 now. Baby Driver does it. I just noticed. I haven't watched it yet, but I put the disc in. I noticed it has it. and now
Exactly.
fucking life. But basically, it's like this horrible menu where there's like you have to just push up, left, right, or down to
Oh,
like go to
yes.
where you.
It's the
Oh, it's fucking
fucking worst. They
horrible.
are the worst
Oh,
goddamn menus ever. Why is there a large ass transition for me to go from one menu to the other? It's the
it's,
absolute fucking worst. Spider-Verse
so
has it too.
oh my god, like fucking
Bad Boys
Sony,
2.
man. Sony and their UI sometimes, man. I don't know. That is shit. That is the
Oh.
worst fucking menu I have ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, okay, maybe this is just life. Nobody gives a shit about this movie. And then I put in Baby Driver. I'm like, no, it's the same shit. No.
Dude, it is the worst specifically because what I've learned since the DVD era is that if you go into chapter select, sometimes it'll skip the piracy is bad. You know how much it hurts the industry. Like if you sometimes go to chapter select, it'll skip that. So I always start the movie from chapter 1 instead. And I fucking hate that every Sony movie's like, "Oh, you want to go to chapter select? Okay, move to the right. Large strong animation. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see if I can do directionally. This is the animation. It's coming it's the audio's coming in through mono, so that's probably not going to work. It's bouncing from left to right. But like long animations, like why would you do this? It's a fucking menu. No one is buying fucking 4K discs. No one's buying discs anymore. Why are you making it worse for us? Oh wait, I just realized they're making it worse for us so we can pay for streaming. Okay, never mind. Fair play. Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah, that's honestly probably what it is. And like I wouldn't like it's bad as it is because I don't usually go to the other stuff, so I wouldn't have minded so much. But my 4K player actually just fucking hard crashed during a life for some reason. I'm not sure why, but like hard crashed. So
He
I
was
had to
trying to
actually
save
go.
you.
Yeah, I guess. So I actually had to go into the chapter select. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking painful. And yeah, that was no bueno. So movie itself, 4 out of 5. Sony's horrible fucking UI interface for these 4K movies, it's like a 1 out of 5, man. That ain't good.
Look, when you see that Sony's and what movies they're putting out, Uncharted, and even the 4K player is like, hey, you probably shouldn't watch that, that maybe says something. Out of 10.
All right, let me do one last double here, and that should probably catch us up. This is going to be
Perfect.
the weirdest double of them all, though. So we're gonna bundle together Free Guy and The Last Duel. I have my reasons for this.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay. Go
and the
for
and the
it.
reason is literally just Jodie Coomer. That's it.
What an
Look,
unfortunate last name.
that, that is an unfortunate last name, and it's probably like Comer, but I'm going to call it Coomer. I don't care. Um,
Coomer.
yeah. So look, let's get Free Guy out of the way first. This movie is a soulless sack of shit. I fucking hate in this movie. Fuck everyone who voted me this movie out of spite. You're all a bunch of cunts. And this movie is one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. And it is maybe the worst movie I saw in 2021. I'm still debating between that and Old, but it's fucking garbage. The only reason this movie is 1 star instead of half a star is literally Jodie Coomer. That's it. If it was not for her, this movie would be half a star. She is the only thing that is like, oh, I don't want to kill myself. You're on screen and pretty talented. Everything else is just garbage. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. The only thing I'm going to say is there's literally a gamer cum sock joke in this movie. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Free Guy, then you should probably watch it because you'll probably enjoy it because you have no taste, you soulless sack of shit. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Now, specifically, I just want to mention that when you mentioned the cum sock joke, I thought, wow, that's terrible. And then we fast forward to a couple of days after that, I see that Free Guy got added to Disney Plus in the US. So I just thinking, do I really want to put that on in the background while I do other stuff just so I could say that I had a cum sock joke that was streamed through Disney Plus?
No, no. You really don't. This movie's so bad. I would not suggest you watch it, even in the background to hear a gamer cum sock joke. Just look up the scene on YouTube if you need to, or literally, if you want to do that, put the movie on Disney Plus, find out where it is, fast forward to that moment, and then fucking close it. Seriously.
Is it really that bad? Because like part of me is thinking, do I want to watch this just so I can rail on people even harder? Like I've been already been on a terrible run of movies. What's one more?
If you somehow come out of this movie positive, I'd be blown away. Like I would be
Cast of
absolutely
Pixels is canceled.
fucking blown away. This movie is so soulless in the way it's presented. There's no heart here whatsoever. It's Ryan Reynolds doing everything he can just to be Ryan Reynolds and get a paycheck. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. This movie. So no, I would not watch it.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a cum sock joke on Disney Plus out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 1 out of 5. Now, to move on to the good half of this doubleheader, The
Hmm.
Last Duel. This movie was fucking incredible. Oh my god, this movie is good. This movie is so good, I went out and bought a fucking $60 steelbook for it because I love this movie so much. I got the 4K one. I was like, I want a cut of this. This is a very rare steelbook. Zavi had very limited supply on it. It's not going to get any easier to find. I only got it for $60 because the guy was selling it sealed because it has a loose disc inside. I was like, fuck it. I'll pay less for the loose disc. I don't care.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like 9 times out of 10, the disc is fine. Those discs are very resilient. And actually, it's funny. The last few ones I've gotten like that, they were all the Blu-ray discs that had popped out, not even the 4K ones. So hopefully it's that again too. Anyways,
Look, I'm telling you
um,
right now, I ran it. A Blu-ray disc didn't stop working until I ran it over. Okay.
yeah, these discs are very durable. The only thing with 4K discs is they're very susceptible to smudges for some reason. I've noticed scratches they're fine. They do actually they don't get scratched easily, but if there's like one little smudge on there, it can cause it to skip. So I always have to wipe them down beforehand. But
Yeah,
other than that,
4K
it's fine.
discs are right. I have no idea if they're as resilient as Blu-ray discs.
Yeah. Anyways, look, Last Duel is so now it's already moved up. It's my third favorite movie of 2021 in my power rankings. I put it ahead of Pig for now.
Uh-huh.
Um, it is just so well done. It's so incredibly well acted. The thing is, you got Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in this movie, but you don't like those are actors that when I see them, like, oh, that's Matt Damon. Oh, that's Ben Affleck. I don't think they're bad actors. I think they're pretty good actors actually, but they're Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They're not Matt Damon
They
and
don't
Ben
have
Affleck.
character names.
Exactly. They're not Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in this movie though. Like you do not think of them as them at all. In fact, Ben Affleck doesn't even look like Ben Affleck in this movie. It's crazy the work they did to him in this. Adam Driver's in this as well, phenomenal as always. And Jodie Comer, the fact that she did not get nominated for an Oscar for this role is highway robbery, in my opinion. Like this movie got snubbed in general. I don't think it got a single fucking Oscar nomination, which is wild to me. But the fact that she didn't get a nomination really burns because she's incredible in this movie. Absolutely deserves one, in my opinion. So just that was shocking to me. But the cool thing about this movie is they took an idea, they took a story that if they just took the story and presented you the story, it could have been actually boring. Like it could have been a boring movie. It could have been well made, but just not nearly as memorable. But the way they structure this movie and they shoot it, which I don't even want to say because I think saying it is kind of it's not a spoiler, but it's cooler if you don't know it going into it, I think. So the way it's
Mhm.
structured is so unique and I think cool that it just definitely elevates the movie for me. So I love this movie. I think it's great. It's absolutely baffling to me that fucking Ridley Scott managed to do this in House of Gucci in the same year. Because oh boy, House of Gucci was bad, but this was great.
Okay. Do you think that maybe it could? No, no. Oh, no. Damn it. That joke doesn't work. I was gonna say, oh, do you think it could be like a Norbit Dreamgirls situation where, yeah, we could give the nomination to Eddie Murphy for Dreamgirls, but you also did Norbit in the same year, so too fucking bad. I realize that that's not true because then I remember that House of Gucci, I think, landed a nomination or two, didn't it?
Yes, I think it did. And for a second
Jesus
there, I thought you were
Christ.
talking about Jodie Comer specifically, but fucking Free Guy got nominated for an Oscar, so you can't even
Wait,
use
hold
it
on.
for
Okay,
that.
it's special effects, right? That's it,
Yes,
right?
but still,
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ.
okay, come on, look. Special effects is just always gonna be whatever, okay? Like the randomest stuff gets nominated there.
I
I think
agree.
the animation category is more egregious. Like when you go and look and you see Shark Tale got nominated.
I agree, but for fuck's sakes, you could have put Spider-Man in there over fucking Free Guy, man. I'm sorry. I know you're not the biggest fucking No Way Home fan, but that was more miles better, even from a fucking
I mean,
special
yeah.
effects standpoint than fucking Free Guy was. No, Last Duel, very good. Very, very, by the way, it's very long. It's 2.5 hours, and it's not an easy watch. Good old Poot, shout out to Poot, who's been on the show before. He's actually said he had to fast forward a couple of scenes, and I understand why. Like, those were tough watches. I wanted to punch a hole in my wall a couple times during that movie. Let's just leave it at that. So it was a very tough watch at times, but very good.
Okay, the idea that I'm going to get mad watching it is an exciting thought to me, and well, that's probably a really bad sign of my mental state. I will let go of the Ridley beef for a little bit, okay? Fucking Ridley, you already know how I feel about Blade Runner, okay? Stop it. Need you to never speak again. I'll watch your movie.
Yeah, I
Out of
don't
10.
know if it's quite going to be bad enough, but in case you do get bothered, you might want to have Paddington 2 ready after that. That's all I'll say.
I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Outstanding movie.
Okay. How many do you have left? Is it finally time to go back and forth? An hour in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take it from here. Let me see. Is there any order that I want to do? I think I will do TV shows first. Smiling Friends. Okay, Smiling Friends. I watched it on HBO Max. The entire first season got put on there, and honestly, I'm impressed that the first season is literally like 2 hours, 2 hours 20 minutes, like 8 episodes or so. Each episode's like 10 to 11 minutes. Honestly, these are just like really high quality YouTube shit posts, and they're great. I am kind of shocked that my biggest takeaway from the show is that this movie feels movie this show is specifically made for people who specifically are always on their phone whenever they're watching something on TV, and this show basically grabs you and goes, no, 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 if you do that, you're gonna miss basically every single joke that's being thrown out there. And it's kind of impressive that it feels like it is a machine gun of either visual gags or actual jokes being said, that it's one of those things that if you're not paying attention, you've missed basically half the episode. And not gonna lie, it's one of the first times that I felt old, because it's like, man, this is not how my brain is wired. I'm usually able to pay attention and focus on something. So this would feel like for someone who's like, yeah, I got a video game on and I have a fan that I haven't turned off, and then I got a podcast going on, but I also have a song specifically in my right ear, and then I have someone yelling at me behind me so I can finally not think about the despair that is existence. And I don't really have that. I can focus on things. So this was really different for me. But yeah, Smiling Friends, I never finished it. I still have a couple of episodes left, but it's very good. It's actually damn funny, and yeah, I don't know what else to add.
Yeah, I actually don't know much about this. I kind of like stumbled across a little bit of talk about it, and the animation just seems to kind of turn me off. I don't know why.
It's
Um,
comedy, so like it really doesn't rely on the animation. I mean,
yeah,
I will say, actually, I want to roll that back. The animation does lead to actual good jokes as well, so I don't want to shortchange that.
all right. Well, that's good. Comedy in general is just a bit of a tough sell for me these days. Like, I don't really. It's never a priority for me. Let me put it that way.
Mm.
But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll stumble across it. I honestly don't have too much to add because I've never even really heard of it other than the name and seen that animation. So
I want to say that this is leaning way more into internet humor than it is standard humor. So you could probably watch this and it won't feel like, oh my god, why am I spending all my time on this? So it feels just more like YouTube videos, and that's honestly a compliment.
yeah, that's cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out one day. I don't think it's on anything here though, so I don't even know where I'd check it out. But maybe one day.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a YouTube poop out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a weird animation, so I don't know out of 10.
All right. Do I go again?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Do I have another TV show on here? Yes, I do. Jeen-Yuhs, a Kanye trilogy. Holy fuck, man. Oh my god. You know what? I realized that I said most of the movies that I watched are I'm really negative on. This one's a TV show, so that doesn't count. This documentary series is fucking incredible. I specifically really, really, really like Kanye West. Like, I think that his first five albums are all incredible, and I respect them so much because they took what is now the most popular genre. It is actually something I was thinking of last night while I was watching the second episode of the documentary, which is that pop music isn't even an accurate label anymore because the most popular music is rap and R&B. So pop music is actually like an actual label now instead of something that you should take literally. And now that rap is basically pop, that means that Kanye West is basically probably one of the most important artists ever because of the importance that that genre has now. So to be able to watch a documentary where someone in the Chicago scene could recognize that Kanye was going to be someone and followed him all the way from like 2000 to 2005 to record his entire process of getting his first album out there and getting signed is honestly incredible to see that all of this just history in the making was recorded because someone had the foresight to recognize that history was going to be made, and to be able to watch it is stunning, honestly. One thing I also want to mention, we all know that Kanye has kind of lost his mind. I mean, he always kind of did. Part of me feels like this documentary has helped me consider that maybe Kanye lost his mind. One, because he always has that drive in him to always get to the top of the mountain and then keep trying to climb afterwards. And I think, well, when you have five albums that change their respective genre four times every single time that they drop, specifically what I mean by that is that College Dropout and Late Registration are kind of in the same vein. It's Bands in a Backpack, I think is what he claims it, or Backpack Rap. I don't remember, but you get the idea from there. Both of those albums changed things. Graduation kind of allowed pop rap to be a thing. 808s and Heartbreak basically gave Drake an entire career for a little bit. And then Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is about kind of opulence and big rap. So whenever you change a genre four times, you've kind of reached every single mountain peak that you can get. And so the fact that he never stops trying to climb means that maybe he's just getting restless being at the top. The other thing that makes me realize that this would make anyone lose their mind is that Donda West shows up in the footage, and Donda West is one of just the brightest people that I just remember seeing. Like, if anyone were to say, what is your idea of a person who is a beacon of light? Donda West fits that category. Every single time that she's on screen, you can feel the motherly love that's anytime that she's in a scene with Kanye. And eh, I I just have to respect that if I had well, I do, but you know what I mean, so shut up. If I were Kanye and I had a loving mom as much as Donda West did, you could be forgiven for losing your fucking mind to have lost her in something that was so unnecessary, like a cosmetic surgery. But yeah, Donda West is an absolute joy, and every single time she shows up, it just makes me sad that she's gone now, and that Kanye has probably taken that really hard. And yeah, another cool thing is that you get to see footage of Kanye creating what eventually are songs that end up on the College Dropout, and him showing other artists that you know to that time were big, and all of them going, holy shit, this is incredible, like this is something that is different and it's actually really good. Seeing that actually kind of drives you a little more insane because at the same time he was being signed to Rockefeller, and the problem is that they kind of signed Kanye as a way to appease him as a producer but not really care for him as a rapper. So it's very strange to see that again, some people who are in charge of boardroom decisions don't know what they're doing, when it seemed like every single artist who listened to Kanye would go, holy shit, you know what you're doing, how is this not out there? So yeah, this is a trilogy, of course. The first two episodes are out. The third episode comes out, I think, Tuesday, which is the 1st of March, so probably around the time that this episode would go live. Maybe the 2nd, I don't know. We'll see how lazy I am with editing. This is why I like the 3-day window. It gives me a chance to do this. But yeah, Genius a Kanye trilogy is fucking incredible. And I wish there were so many other artists that had someone close by with a camera that just kind of had the sense to go, you are going to be special and someone needs to document this. So it's fucking amazing, honestly. If you have any inkling of Kanye that you like, at least musically, this is wonderful to see. And it gives wonderful insight that this man is just, he hasn't ever stopped fighting and no one ever told him to stop.
Yeah, it's really well said. I have a big I don't want to call it that, but it kind of is. It's a love-hate relationship with Kanye.
But
I
is it the
think
art versus the artist?
I think so. I think a lot of
Okay.
it is that, and I really do well, and I really do appreciate like early Kanye, like his music is goated to me, basically from
You'll love this.
yeah, and that's why I think so. I definitely need to check this out. But when you talk about like for his first album, was it the Dropout, or which
Yeah,
one was
College
it?
Dropout.
College Dropout, yeah. So from College Dropout all the way to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is one of my favorite albums
Same.
period of all time.
Yes.
Um,
Those first 5 albums, man.
yeah, just absolutely incredible stuff. And it's just after that where he falls off a bit for me, and then kind of, and I understand like what you saying makes sense of, I don't want to say he's going crazy, but he kind of is.
No, I mean, like, that's the
Um,
thing. It's a restlessness. Like, it feels
yeah.
like he is always constantly like, that's the thing. When you watch this documentary, it feels like every single roadblock is put in front of him to be able to break away from being a producer into becoming a rapper that people respect. So it seems like this man is someone who is just always kept fighting to try to be the top of wherever he is. Because I mean, like, let's be honest, some of the beats that he did produce are fucking hot
Oh,
before he became a
yeah.
rapper.
Yeah,
So
his
it go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say the production value you get on a Kanye album is always second to none. Like you will never get a better produced album by anyone. Maybe Kendrick, maybe, but mm,
I mean, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure that isn't isn't Dre someone who is usually producing beats for Kendrick. So it's
correct.
like come on, like
Yeah,
that's Dr. fucking Dre. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you know Kanye has good beats, but then also Dr. Dre's over. There's like those are two fucking people who are, god damn.
Well,
So
and
we
it's
put
so
it in the
funny
same
to,
breath as a compliment.
well, it just it's crazy what production does for a rapper in general
Mhm.
though, because even
Yeah.
look at like I know we like to fight a lot about him, but look at Eminem
Yes, no,
and
I agree.
the
Eminem's
first
talent as a rapper is fucking incredible, but then his production value is
yeah
just gone
yeah
so downhill where it's like,
ever since
why?
ever
Why?
since he stopped working with Dre. Yeah, because
Yes.
I think the last album he did with Dre was if I'm correct, I think it was Relapse,
Mm.
and which is really the last, which I know you don't like, but I love that album, and I
It's
think
fine. It's fine.
and
That's
I
the thing.
think that's the last album I would point to, and I do I defend Eminem's newer stuff. I think it's good, but it's not great. And Relapse is the last album I would point to being great. And again, that's just Dre's production. Like his production is incredible. So yeah, obviously, you know, you've got Kanye and then you've got Dre producing Kendrick stuff. So it's a close battle there. But Kanye stuff is second to none, man, the way it's produced. And yeah, the way you describe that, I think I will definitely have to check that out because I really do appreciate and love Kanye's earlier stuff. And I feel like the fact that they had the foresight to make this all that time ago is really fucking cool. And definitely something I want to check out.
Yeah, the person who did it, his name is Cootie. I think, at least from what it seems from the documentary, it seems that him filming Kanye helped him become a director of music videos. So I haven't even looked into it. I just have a feeling that I really hope, I hope so much that this man is still working in the industry because the footage that he captures is just so fucking incredible to watch here that I want nothing but the best for this man for being able to capture all this. Okay, specifically, I do want to bring this up because it's insane to me. The entire music video Through the Wire, Kanye funded that himself because specifically Rockefeller didn't want to give him budget to be able to keep making the album. So pretty much all of College Dropout, he specifically had to borrow studio time from other artists so he could make that album. So Basically, this is the man who would walk into the office after it's shut down and then use the technology that was there while no one was there. College Dropout actually becomes even more impressive to me whenever you think about how highly produced that album sounds and how a lot of it was made by Kanye and just a couple of people overnight because they couldn't afford studio time. I can't get over this. I honestly, Netflix is never going to release this shit physically, but I think that with this next episode, the next episode is actually going way further than I thought. I thought it was going to end right before late registration, but it seems like it's going farther, and I can't fucking wait. But honestly, if this next episode were to land, this is one I wish I could buy on Blu-ray. Like, this is one I would want in my collection, and I
It's
feel
not
like that's, oh my god,
it's not impossible because I mean
it
there is
happens
some history
sometimes.
of Netflix releasing their stuff. Like I know Irishman got that Criterion release, so
Yeah, but
there
Criterion could probably do that.
true. So there is some history, but not likely, unfortunately. But maybe.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. This is a small thing that I can't imagine would be big enough to convince Netflix to put it out on Blu-ray is the issue.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'll definitely give that a check out. That'll be interesting to me now that I have some Netflix logins, so I'll check that
Okay.
out.
I also want to say I've been saying genius, right? I've been trying to say it like that, but honestly, you can still look it up as a Kanye trilogy. Genius is spelled out phonetically, so it's Jenyuhs. So genius. I keep saying it like that because every time I read it, my brain does that. So yeah, Kanye trilogy. Honestly, I'm just ready to fucking say it's through the wire out of 10. No, actually, no. Hold on. No. Better score. Genius, a Kanye trilogy is Last Call, that specific song on College Dropout out of 10. It's fucking incredible. I honestly, even speaking about it just makes me want to watch it again.
All right. Yeah, definitely can't wait to watch that out of 10. We'll give that a shot.
All right, go for a couple of back to backs because I feel like I took a lot of time there.
That's all good. Can we just like announce? I'm tired of looking at Don't Look Up and Uncharted because they're like next on my list. So can we just announce that shit and get them off
Yeah,
there?
that's fine. I'll go ahead and handle that. All right,
Yeah.
people. Do you love special episodes about good shit? Of course you do. Do you like special episodes about bad shit? No one does. I don't, but I'm doing it anyways. We're announcing a double barrel of shit, okay? We've got Uncharted, we've got Don't Look Up. Both of these movies, yeah, right? We're going to give them a special episode that bundles them together so we can give you a double barrel of shit. We're good?
Yep. Sounds good. I can't wait. Oh, actually, I can, but I can't. I can't.
The Uncharted one is currently being edited. I have 20 minutes left. The Don't Look Up one has not been recorded yet. When is it coming out? Next month? Let's just say next month. And then I can't wait until we get to April. It's like, well, I said next month. Whoops.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So now, from all that glowing praise, let's talk about something kind of mid. Antlers.
Okay.
So
Okay.
look,
Okay.
this was just perfectly fine, forgettable horror. So it's gonna be like if you ever watched it, it'd be like your least favorite movie of all time. But yeah,
I
it's
already had
just
old enough of that. I don't want to do that again.
yeah, it's just the
Well,
definition of
2 weeks. Sorry.
mediocre.
Not month.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest part about this movie is the special effects and like the creature design and stuff like that. Like they're actually really well done and actually genuinely cool. I think what's her name? Fuck, Carrie Russell. Is that it? Am I saying it right? Let me look it
I
up.
don't even know if this movie actually exists. You could be probably making this up like Planet Lockdown.
Yeah, Carrie Russell. She's in The Americans. I've always been a fan of her. She's in this. She's in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes too, by the way. She's very good in this. The just the script at times in this movie is hot garbage. It gets really bad, and it's just I don't know. I've heard they went through editing, like rewrite hell, and the director is actually I think it's Scott Cooper is his name, and he's actually like I know a lot of people like him, and apparently he came on and kind of saved this project, but yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I can't say anything more than that. It's like the definition of a 3 out of 5 to me. I wish I could say more. It's just I don't know, man. Apparently Del Toro like executive produced and helped with this, but I'm assuming he didn't do much because there's not much here.
I want this over and done with. Please stop making mid movies. Either make garbage or make good shit out of 10.
So it's a 3 out of 5. It's fine. It's acceptable. It's just I'll never watch it again.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next eye roll. Power of the Dog.
So.
Nothing fucking happens. Nothing fucking happens. I don't remember a single fucking thing in this movie
Oh,
outside of maybe Benedict Cumberbatch's talking like this. Listen here, young whippersnapper. I'm from the West, can't you hear? Like, I don't know what the fuck happens in this movie. I just remember that there was a lot of dicks at some point. That's about it. Did
oh,
anything else happen in this movie?
oh,
No.
I'm convinced it didn't.
I don't remember this movie at all, and it's honestly becoming a trend where if something is so just my brain goes, you don't need to pay attention to this. And this was another movie that when I paused it, it said 50 minutes left. I was like, the fucking worst. And the funny thing is that Marry Me and Power of the Dog, both of those I put in the living room because I kind of had an idea that, if I'm putting this in the theater room, I can't escape it. I'm good. In the living room, I can kind of look at a wall. I can look at some of the nice decoration my wife's put around. I can put out my phone and it doesn't feel like I'm staring right into a floodlight. It's all good stuff in the living room, and I'm glad I had the foresight to do that. And I remember specifically both times that I paused it was 15 minutes left, and my wife looks at me and is like, oh my God, there's 50 minutes left. And then I just kept pausing after that. My God, nothing happens. Nothing fucking happens. There's nothing I can appreciate about this movie. I don't even know what the fuck the dog metaphor is supposed to be at all. And that's because I just wasn't paying attention. Fuck this movie. I don't. Ugh.
I feel so much redemption right now because I watched this movie and I honestly like I watched this movie with a friend. My friend loved it. And then I saw the Discord because people on the Discord started watching it and they all loved it. And I'm like, what am I fucking missing with this movie, man? Nothing fucking happens in this movie till the last 20 minutes. Like literally, it just meanders along. Nothing happens. You're supposed to feel bad for this kid that looks slightly less punchable than Barry Keoghan,
Not about the same.
and but
It's
yeah,
apples
about the
oranges of
same.
how punchable.
and I just like, yes, it's well acted, sure. I mean, yeah, Benedict
Is it?
Cumberbatch is good here. I think so. Like, I think the acting's fine. I don't think there's an issue there.
Wait, hold on,
It's
hold on. You want to know what was the best acting? The best acting was the horse when it was getting his ass beaten up by Benedict Cumberbatch.
yeah, Horse did do a good job. I don't know, man. It's just, it just feels like pretentious Oscar bait. No, maybe pretentious is not the right word, but it feels like Oscar bait to me.
Yeah, Oscar bait.
And
You can just say that.
and I feel like it is probably going to win Best Picture. Like out of all these movies that have been listed,
Oh my
I
fucking
think this is going to
God.
be the one that wins Best Picture. And I don't even hate it as much as you. Like this is another 3 out of 5 for me. Spoiler, but it's just not like the way people are hyping this movie up, man. I don't know. It
No, that's
just
the thing.
it's boring more than
Your
often than not.
grading curve, if we were to go from 0 to 10, right, it would be linearly, left to right going up. My score, if I actually did use scores, is a U shape where it's like at the very, very zero line, peak. Fucking incredible. Wonderful. The closer you get to the middle, it's just a huge valley, and then you eventually get to actual good shit. My scoring is a U, your scoring is an actual right angle.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, like I haven't thought. Like the only time I thought about this movie after I saw it is like when you started talking about it again. I was like, oh yeah, shit, this fucking movie. So it literally left my mind, my memory. I mean, is it as bad as Don't Look Up, which we'll talk about? No, like Don't
I
Look
think
Up
it's
is
worse.
worse. It's okay,
I
yeah, but of course you do because it's fucking boring. So I get that. Like it is, it's more boring than Don't Look Up. I'll give it that. I don't think it's as bad as Don't Look Up, and we'll talk about that. I think that movie's a pile of shit. But
mean, it's definitely worse, but like how we like. I
no,
just
I know.
explained the charts.
No, I know. I get it. So I can understand why this is worse to you. It's just, yeah, man. It's just it meanders along and real. And I'm not even being facetious. Really, nothing does happen in this movie until the last 20 minutes. So I don't know. Probably gonna win Best Picture, and I'll be annoyed. There's a good score for you.
I don't know if there was a single character in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: there wasn't a single character I cared about.
Is there a difference
I guess not, though.
if a tree falls in the middle of a
Yeah.
forest?
Yeah, no, it's not. Best part of this movie, honestly, is the score. Like Johnny Greenwood's score in the movie is actually really good, and actually is the only thing that makes me care about anything in this movie.
I think I went super numb that I couldn't tell.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Power of the Dog is going to be Netflix original out of 10.
Yeah, so it's a 3 out of 5, mid. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I might even bump it down to like 2.5. It's really not good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, how many do I have left? I've got four, five, six.
I've got 8.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it.
All right. So let's talk about Birdman, or
Oh
The
yes,
Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. So
yes.
this is movie number 2 from Moki. So this was the second one. I just watched this last night, so it's fresh in my head. Yeah, this movie's pretty good. It's very chaotic. Is the
Yes.
best word I think to describe this movie. It's easily one of the most chaotic movies I've seen in a long time. There's a lot going on in it, and I think it will require a second viewing for me to fully appreciate this movie. And I am going to do that at some point because I actually do really like it. I just don't love it. But I feel like there's a lot I could pick up on a potential second viewing that would definitely improve that experience.
Mm.
But what's here is very good. It's just there's like I said, chaotic. It's hectic at times. There's so much going on in the background and in every shot, and it's beautifully shot and put together. Like, this director did an incredible job with it. I can't think of the director's name. It's very Spanish too, so I'm not even gonna try.
Alejandro
There you
Inarritu.
go. It's very good. The acting performances in this movie are just incredible too. Michael Keaton's amazing here. I've always got a soft spot for Naomi Watts, and she's great here. Emma Stone, obviously, Sim Nation for her. She's great. Edward Norton, I love Edward Norton. He's an asshole, but he's fantastic. So
Hmm.
there's just so many solid performances in this movie. And yeah, it's a deep movie. Like, the ending, like when the ending happened, I was caught off guard and I was like, man, I have no fucking idea how to interpret this. None. So it's definitely where I feel like a second viewing and kind of just, trying to keep an eye out for certain things and just figuring out kind of what's real and what's not, I think will help. But overall, it was definitely enjoyable. And I feel like there was a lot to this movie. So I appreciate that.
I am okay. Well, big fan might be a little too strong because whenever I think about it, I don't think about Birdman. I like Birdman. I thought it was a very good movie. I was a big fan of the drum uh, score that basically
Yes.
the entire
Score's
movie
great.
had. However, the problem is that when you're a movie that came out in 2014 that has a drum score, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you really have much of a chance, honey? Do you think so? Um, the acting is great. I love the meta narrative, basically getting Michael Keaton back into the industry through this movie about how basically Batman maybe was a little too overwhelming for the rest of his career. Emma Stone is Bonk. Also, you know what, Ed Norton. I'm always a big fan of Ed Norton. I just really like him whenever he acts in a movie because it's weird because Ed Norton's performances are all kind of the same, but they all have their own certain flavor to it where it's like I still somehow buy that it's a character and not Ed Norton, and I don't know exactly how to explain that. But yeah, Birdman is really good. I think I may just be a fan of one-shot movies. One maybe more so than another, but Birdman is very good. I'm very happy. And what else? Do you know what movie he did next or no?
The Revenant, right?
Okay, yeah, good. Just
Yeah.
okay, just wanted to be sure. I like the Revenant more, but I think maybe that's just because the Revenant is. I feel like it's something more different. While Birdman is like, I really like this, but I also don't feel like I have too much fondness for it for some reason.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually like The Revenant less, but I do
Mm,
want to
mm,
rewatch that one. I definitely
mm,
want to give that one another shot. I will say I appreciate how fucking completely different those movies are. So,
yeah, yeah.
credit for that. I always appreciate that when a director can just make movies like that, especially 1 year apart too, that are just vastly, vastly different.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Birdman is gonna be that shot of Michael Keaton walking basically naked through Times Square out of 10.
It's a 3 point. Yeah, good scene by the way. It's
Mm-hmm.
a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
I should
see.
do one more here. I'm guessing then, so we're
Yes,
even
go for it.
again. All right, let's
Mhm.
do Minari.
Okay.
Um,
Ooh, ooh.
yeah. So give me a second here. I just want to make sure I have this director right. Minari, 2020 movie directed by Lee Isaac Chung. Hey, this movie's pretty good. I liked it. I can't say I loved it. It got a lot of hype and recognition and all that stuff, and maybe it was a bit overhyped for me, but it's still a pretty good movie. I liked it. Steve Ewan is a great actor. I'm always happy to see him doing good things because The Walking Dead can like basically fuck itself as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I always liked him, so I'm very happy to see him doing well and in different projects. Um, this movie's like really dreamy is the best way I can describe it. Like the way it's shot and the way it kind of transitions from scene to scene. It's just kind of a little slice of life back in the 80s of the American dream. It's nice. There's not, I mean, it just didn't light my world on fire. I feel like the pacing is the biggest problem I have with the movie. Like it's just really slow at times, and there's periods where there's not much going on, and then you kind of ramp up and then it ramps down again. But I mean, that's probably to be expected from this type of movie, honestly. But no, it's really good. I enjoyed it. It was on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Amazon Prime because God, their streaming's beautiful. So it
Mhm.
looked really good on there. Gorgeous cinematography in this movie. I actually don't even know who did the cinematography. Done anything else? Let me see. Nope, nothing that I've ever heard of. But yeah, the cinematography was really nice in this. And Brad Pitt was a producer on this, huh? Weird. Yeah, good movie.
Brad Pitt, man, he has
Yeah,
like the weirdest producing credits sometimes.
yeah. No, but yeah, this was good. Definitely, like I mean, if you're into this sort of thing and you're just kind of like these little slice of life stories with that are well acted, well shot. I mean, I think you'll like this movie. There's nothing much more to say. It's good.
Minari, let me go ahead and check. Is it streaming anywhere? Not streaming anywhere. God damn it. Uh,
Rip.
okay. I do want to watch this just because it kind of looks like a very nice indie movie about people and family and emotions. And it's like, oh, yes, I could always go for one of those. I feel like maybe I'm shortchanging it by calling it that, but I mean that as a compliment that it's going to be another good movie. However, now you sent me on a different direction, which is what other movies has Brad Pitt produced? Um, Brad Pitt was a producer on Moonlight, so that means he's technically an Academy Award winning producer.
Oh,
Baller as fuck. Okay, Moonlight, The Departed, Minari, The Big Short, The Big Short, and 12 Years a Slave. Fuck, man, he's gotten a couple of
yeah.
nominations.
He's
What a
got some producer
legend!
credits in there, eh?
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah.
Ad Astra, Okja, Beautiful Boy, Kick Ass, the original Kick Ass. Fuck, okay. The Tree of Life, World War Z, Moneyball, Vice, If Beale Street Could Talk, Fury, The King, Last Black Man in San Francisco. Last Black Man in San Francisco, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Dude, Selma? Holy shit, dude, Brad Pitt is an actual producer. Holy fuck.
Yeah, good on him, man. He's smart, man. Like not only is he a great actor, but he dips his hand into a lot of things, and looks like his business sense is very smart with this stuff. So good on him.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, so Poot has told me a lot about the Lost City of Z and how it's the same director as Ad Astra and how both of those movies are pretty similar to each other. He was a producer on Lost City of Z as well. So that actually kind of has me a little more excited because dude Brad Pitt kind of knows what he's doing. Just when you think Brad Pitt isn't more perfect, he somehow finds a way to do it.
I think we've said it many times on the show that he doesn't get enough respect because of
Yes.
how pretty he is.
Hmm.
But yeah, Brad Pitt's a banger, man. He's a banger. I still got to watch. I actually Lost City of Z is on my watch list. I've held up your rewatch of the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford for a while, but it's actually
Isn't it
rentable.
fun to say the whole name?
I do love it. I love it. It's rentable, so I actually I might check that out. Well, it's the same thing too. I feel bad for not giving Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance its full credit earlier too. But
God, it's so fun to say these ridiculously long names. But yeah, now that I saw that Brad Pitt is a producer on it, Minari feels like it kind of jumped up a little bit for me. I'm kind of interested to watch this sooner than I expected, except, not streaming anywhere. And, your boy's trying to watch a lot of movies, okay? We're trying to watch the free ones before I have to start paying money.
fair. Shout out to Canadian Amazon Prime then for having it.
What legends? Honestly, Prime used to be like the good home for like so many indie movies that whenever I see one isn't there, I get really sad.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, Minari good. 3.5 out of 5. That's all I have to say.
Minari's gonna be Brad Pitt deserves his roses out of 10.
There you
Uh,
go.
Okay, the next one, do I have? You know what? Order, medium, really a fucking mess this episode. So I'm just gonna keep going down the line.
Sure.
Voice of Cars, the Dragon Island Roar, something in the name like that. If you search Voice of Cards Dragon, you'll be able to find it. Whatever. This is just a cozy video game. The trophy list is fucking terrible. Fuck you, Yoko Taro. I love you. Please keep doing this to me. I'm locked in. Um, Voice of Cards is just a little JRPG that has a card aesthetic on top of it. And the main reason to even play it is because you kind of know that Yoko Taro is just going to write some shit. And write some shit he does. Dorian, do you care about spoilers at all or no?
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, okay, all right. I just want to know because if I'm gonna lead there later on, I want to know if I have the option or not. Voice of Cards just feels so much like a thesis of what Yoko Taro is all about, which is not doing things the same as everyone else. He always wants to be able to change it up. So how I mentioned previously that of course Yoko Taro would be the person who would make insurance not covering a house fire be a reason for why one of your elves joins the party. Like that is obviously Yoko Taro shit where it's like who thinks of this because like it's so different and he nails it. Now I'm going to go ahead into spoilers for a little bit, but I'll try to dip out really quickly. So, let's just say 30 seconds. And, I'm sorry if I'm still spoiling by then. So, 3, 2, 1. The whole plot of the game revolves around the fact that the dragon in the game, its tears are the potions you've been taking the entire fucking game. And so you find out that the dragon you've been chasing this entire time has actually been tortured by the kingdom that is telling you to go take it out for its tears for all the potions and all the medicine that the entire world in that game is taking. Which is just something where it's like, did Yoko Taro just make potions in a JRPG a crucial plot point? And he does. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh shit, how do you continue to do this where you take something that is so just trite in any other video game and you make it central to the plot? And honestly, I can't help but commend Yoko Taro with any single thing that he does in his writing because even in a game that's small like this, that honestly didn't even get that much attention, a game whose sequel came out like a week or two ago, and it looks like it's basically reusing all of the assets from the original game, except now maybe different art to it. It's definitely the same engine. It honestly looks more like an expansion than a sequel, but I mean, it's been a sequel. I mean, and it looks more like an expansion than a sequel, but hey, it's a sequel, so I'm not going to argue it. But yeah, I am very happy with this game. I just want Yoko Taro to be happy, and it seems like he enjoys writing these types of stories. So the trophy list, again, I will tell you right now, my final clock time was about 19 hours, and I'm pretty sure about 9 hours of that was related to the trophy chase. So I should have never told myself to get all of Yoko Taro's games as a platinum. The second game, I'll do the exact same thing for. I even checked the trophy list, and at least the good thing is that it seems like it's pretty much going to be the same thing, so it's doable. It's just that I specifically have to make sure of how I'm going to do this. So, yeah, Voice of Cards. Do you like Yoko Taro? Out of 10.
That's fair. I don't have much more to add because I still haven't played it and I've already talked about it. So yeah, maybe we'll check it out one day at a time.
Oh, by the way, recommendation as well. If you ever care to play this game, play the demo. I realize further on that the demo being different from the game actually kind of helps the game, which I thought initially from the first few hours, like, oh, that's a funny joke. But no, I think that the demo is a pretty good thing to play as part of the story of the main game, which is another very Yoko Taro game, a very Yoko Taro thing to do, which is, hey, you know that demo you played? Yeah, it's gonna help you enjoy this more.
Interesting. Now I'll have to check that out then.
So yeah, Voice of Cards. Oh yeah, I already gave my score, so all to you.
All right, let's talk about where do we go next? Where do we go next? Fuck it, let's just go back in order. We'll go Hell or High Water next. So, Hell or High Water. Let's get the negative stuff out of the way because there's a lot I really love about this movie, and mostly I do. I think the only negative I had for it is I think it might actually be my least favorite of the Sheridan trilogy. I think.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
that being said, I still love it. Like, it's still a fantastic movie. I just like them all. Like So, and if you don't know I know you do, but if for anyone listening, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Sicario, Wind River, and Hell or High Water, which is kind of considered to be the Sheridan trilogy of movies he wrote and did and had a heavy influence in. Look, Hell or High Water is great though. It's a fantastic movie. It's really nice to see really great performances from Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine here because they're not always in the best stuff. They have some shit in there. So to see them in like just a really well-made movie, acting really solidly, great to see. I mean, there's so much to like about this. The way it's shot is gorgeous. The writing is just on point for this entire movie, and it's done so well. The themes of the movie and how it kind of all circles back at the end, with a great ending too, by the way. Um, and I mean, the biggest compliment I can give this movie is it just the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, man, I want to go to Texas and just yeehaw.
Yep.
that's
Mhm.
that's literally what I thought about this movie. It's like, man, I want to go rob a bank in Texas, man. That'd be fun as
Yes.
shit. And I don't know. There's just something. It's just a great movie that it's so hard to like think in my head. There's movies obviously that are like you can widely recommend and not recommend. Like you're not going to recommend Mother to everyone, for instance. Like you're just
Yep.
not. But something like Hell or High Water, it's very hard to see people that wouldn't enjoy this movie because it's so well made. It's such a tight script, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
So yeah, I it's funny because when you were the day you watched Hell or High Water, I was driving to and my uncle and aunt's ranch, right? And the ranch is in a very small town on the outskirts of Houston. On the way there, I always see this small bank, and because I knew that you were watching Hell or High Water that day, I just was looking at that bank as like, man, that's basically just the bank from Hell or High Water. And what you said about, man, I just want to go yeehaw and rob a bank, my brain kind of said the same thing. Um, and that's just kind of funny to hear you say that because, yeah, I agree. Hell or High Water is just yeehaw the town. Do you like the town? Cool. Watch Hell or High Water. Honestly, both of them are just fun movies. I don't really know what else I can say. They're just very competently made movies, and because everything is good, it becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Would you make me choose between the two movies and which one I'd rather watch? I think I'd still rather watch The Town, but that's not to take away from Hell or High Water. It's still a really damn good movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. The town's a really good comparison point for it. Actually, I definitely saw that while watching it, and I do
Yeehaw the
think I
town.
like the town more as well. I think the town's really great, but I think this is nearly as good. Like it's still very well made. That's taking nothing away from this movie too. I completely agree with all that.
So yeah, Hell or High Water is if we want to plan a heist offline where we're not recording, just kind of let me know, okay? We can figure something out. I'd like to pay my house off really quickly out of 10.
It's a 4 out of 5, a 4 out of 5 for me. And don't worry, I won't be stupid and decide to go rob a bank while we're sitting and eating at the diner. Out of 10.
Something. I mean, it's really delicious food. It's fine. Maybe we could, but we'll discuss that offline. Will I cut this? I don't know. Maybe I don't cut it. So if you want to rob a bank, just let me know. We'll figure something out. Okay, next one. Uh, I have Returnal on here. Oh, wait. Oh God. Wait. I just realized. Have you talked about? No, 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 no. I'm gonna talk. No, no. Okay. I'm forcing your hand. Let's talk Horizon.
Oh, okay, sure.
Go for it.
All right. All right. Actually, well, it's funny. It's funny. I'm actually going to be more negative than you probably thought I was going to be. So let's start.
Mhm.
Horizon Forbidden West. All right. So look, this is the next big Sony game from
Jim
Sony
Ryan has been
Production.
playing it like for
Jim
the
Ryan.
last month or so.
This is on the Jim Station 5. It's the sequel to Horizon. Look, here's the thing. First of all, let me get this out of the way. If you did not like Horizon 1 or you were just overall mid on it, then there's nothing in this game that's going to convince you otherwise. Nothing whatsoever. This
Mhm.
is more Horizon, in my opinion, with just a better story, some more interesting characters, and production value through the roof. But it's still Horizon. And if you didn't like the first one, there's going to be absolutely nothing to convince you in this one and the second one. Okay? So let's
Yeah.
start there.
Yeah.
Now, it's been a tale of two halves for me with this game. The first half of this game, like, so I've put about 20 hours into it now. Okay, the first half of this game, I was seriously like putting this in the upper echelon of my PlayStation games. Like, I really was enjoying my experience. I thought it was incredible. Hadn't had a single bug. There was no issues with it. The story was really connecting with me, clicking with me, and I absolutely fucking love this game. Now, since that point, I still really like this game. It's still great, but the issues are starting to become a bit more apparent for me. Um,
Mm,
I think I have. How do I put this? I love open world games. I do.
mm,
I love the open world games. I like the checklists when they're done well. I enjoy that sort of gameplay experience. What I find though I have a problem with them is I'll get burnt out on them. And I don't mean in the sense of, oh, I've played too many open world games. I don't want to play anymore for a while. I mean, no, literally, hey, I've been playing this now for 10, 12 hours. I've literally been checking off every box. I'm starting to get burnt out. Let's get on with the story. And that's
mhm,
kind of the point I'm getting to in this game as well, where it's like, oh, I've done so much. I've been exploring so much shit. I'm over leveled to where I'm supposed to be. But now it's like, okay, we just got to get back to the story and kind of get through things here before I want to kill myself. And I think that's just a problem with open world games in general. Well, or specifically the checkbox games, because I'm not sure if I can like I don't understand how people go through and 100% these games. That's nuts to me, because there's no way I could do that without wanting to blow my brains out. But some of the open world stuff, it's very inconsistent. The runes, for instance, are super fun to explore and find the things and kind of do the little puzzles in order to get there. I love those. But like the bandit camps, for instance, they're fucking terrible. That's something ripped straight out of Far Cry, and it's glitching for me to the sense that there was one guy that was stuck in a rock and I couldn't find him, and it wouldn't let me complete the bandit camp till I found the guy that was stuck in the fucking rock and literally not on the screen anymore. Thank God I was able to actually fucking attack him through the rock though, or else I would have had to redone the entire thing and lose my mind and break the disc in half. But all that being said, I mean, I'm a story over everything else guy. The story in this game's really great to me. They improved that. They stepped it up. I actually give a shit about the characters in this game compared to the first game where the only character I gave a shit about was Aloy. So, I mean, you take the good with the bad. I still think this game's fantastic. I gotta finish it. I will hopefully be finished. I better be finished by the next episode. It's probably gonna end up in my top 5 of the year. It's an definite early contender for that for me. So yeah, positivity out of the way. Go ahead, Ed.
Okay. So the reason I forced your hand to talk about Horizon is because Returnal was specifically something I did because of Horizon. So I played a little bit of Horizon 1 again. I still had my save. I haven't seen the PS5 patch at all. PlayStation was giving this shit out for free. So it's like, yeah, sure. You know what? Fine. I kind of want to hear the main theme again that plays on the main menu. So let's go ahead and download 90 gigs in like 20 minutes so I can listen to that. You know what? Menu music, still fucking hot. It sounds great in this room with the ceiling speakers. It's awesome. You know what? Let's go ahead and play a little bit. Let's see if I've been a little too harsh to this game. I should have been harsher. Um, Playing this game for a little bit kind of just reminds me that there were two things that I liked in the original Horizon. One is the past storyline, Project Zero Dawn, and all that, and then the other half was fighting big Robo Dinos. I got into a fight with a big Robo Dino, and the controls were just like I understood what I was doing. I fought that thing. I was still successful. I defeated it, and so much of it felt like going through the motions. And a large part of me is thinking is that I don't think I care that much for third person shooting anymore. And I think third person shooters in general need to work harder to impress me. So that's the thing. Horizon, I'm not off by calling that a third person shooter, right? Like that feels like, yeah, it's an open world, but the gameplay is third person shooting with the bow. Yes, no?
No, that's correct.
Okay. So with Horizon having that, Days Gone, we already know how I don't like fucking Days Gone. However, in the triumvirate, or you know what? No, I want to get that word right. I read it and I want to. In the triumvirate of the Ubisoft formula by Sony, you've got Days Gone, Horizon, and Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost is different, and that's because I like the story, I like the characters, I really like the world. However, I think what might be the biggest differentiator is that I really love the combat in Ghost. So I'm starting to think that maybe it isn't the formula, it's specifically what I'm doing in that world. And I think because I enjoy the world so much and the gameplay that Ghost works, while Horizon, I could not give two shits about that world. I really don't. There's nothing about any of the future people that I give a shit about. Honestly, the robots, they're fine. I don't really think that they're anything that I don't understand how you have big robo dinos and that isn't immediately getting the 10-year-old in me excited. I look at them like, yeah, they exist. Sure. It's weird because whenever I see the lens flare that comes off of their eyes, it reminds me so much of Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'm just like, So yeah, Horizon 1, I realize now I just like Project Zero Dawn. I don't think I even like that much the gameplay. However, I played Horizon 2 as well. Um, I guess I should go into explaining. Last Stand Media, there's a Discord. Colin Moriarty, he's a good man. He went in there, he dropped a code and was like, go for it, anyone who can grab it. I was at my computer. I saw a code. My brain has been wired for the last 2 years to just try and get something very quickly. I've gotten what over 30 items for next gen PS5, Xboxes, GPUs. So my brain's been very wired for shoot now, ask questions later because you can always cancel it. And seeing a code for Horizon 2 scratched that part of my brain. So I got the code. Horizon 2 is just more Horizon. This entire opening section, eventually, you know what? I don't feel bad about spoiling this because it's in the first 90 minutes. The big snick that you fight, Beak Snake, I enjoyed seeing Beak Snake because it's Beak Snake. How can I not be excited? And I got to fight Beak Snake. I kind of enjoyed that, but almost everything before that felt so much like I've done this before. How many times am I going to climb through ruins? There were so many small things while I was playing this that were annoying me, and I don't know if it's just because I went into this with just no effort, but that's the thing. I feel like I just went in already defeated, and I was like, you know what? Fine, just show me something. Whatever, do it. And nothing in the game gave me any sense of excitement. Even dropping the big thing and the whole set piece with that, I was like, I don't care. I am so numb to literally everything that's going on. And my final clock time was an hour and 28 minutes. And I swear that that hour and 28 minutes felt like every single time I'd pause a movie and go, oh my God, there's another 50 minutes left. I am just tired even thinking about this game. And ugh, just I don't. It's so weird because I feel like I almost want to attack this game as badly as I do Days Gone, except it's Days Gone was stupid in trying to ape The Last of Us way early on. Horizon 2 apes Horizon 1, so I don't think I could be as mad about it. It's like, well, what do you expect? So it's like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I kind of did this to myself. But also, I wouldn't be shocked if mentally I would put Horizon 2 right next to Days Gone. Because right now, my enjoyment of all three of those games, Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and Days Gone, are all probably of the same level. So, yeah, Horizon 2 exists, all right. Kind of wish it didn't.
Yeah, I got a rant that I want to
Go
do,
for it. Go
but
for it.
I'm not going to do it now. I'm gonna save it for a game you're going to play. I think it's more
Okay.
pertinent to that point. So we'll get to that, and it's stupid, but we'll get to that. Anyways,
Wait, so
yeah.
there is
So
one thing. I want to dip very quickly into spoilers because I need answers
sure,
for this, okay?
sure. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1. Talk to me about the space people and clone Aloy, because are you fucking telling me there are 3 Aloys?
Okay, so it's interesting, and now I don't know all the answers to this, yes, because I'm still
That's
only
fine.
20 hours into it myself.
Completely okay.
Basically, the people that tried to escape in the first game and that you
Uh,
thought got blown up did not get blown up. That was
uh,
a big that was a hoax. They're still
okay.
alive. They made it. They're out there. Now they're coming back basically to try reset planet Earth and basically just take over.
Mm.
And from what I could tell, it looks like that they were able to get their own Aloy and basically have her kind of do their bidding. The point in the story that I'm at now, though, we've actually
Oh my
recovered the
god.
Aloy clone. So now it's pretty it's pretty wild. You have the two Aloys just talking to each other, with Ashley Birch doing the performance for both. And then it's kind of like a
No.
Spider-Man like pointing at each other moment. Um,
No.
See, I loved it. I thought it was really cool. So I don't know. I think that whole storyline is really neat, and I like where it's going. But I guess it's not going to hit for everyone.
Dude, I pulled up a picture of her and she looks like fucking Ellie from The Last of Us.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely. Just her hair is more normal. It's I don't know. It's again. There's more I want to say on it, but I'm going to bring it up during Elden Ring segment.
Oh, oh,
Um,
I can't wait to talk about that. But like, oh my god, I kind of hate this. I kind of hate the fact that they duplicated a boring character.
well, but it
I
makes but it makes sense.
no, it does.
It
I
makes
still
sense
fucking
though.
hate
It
it.
does. No, you can still hate it, but it makes sense for the story because she's a clone herself. So there
I
obviously
know.
would be more.
No, but I feel like that's I don't know what it is. I feel like that's like a level of ridiculousness that it's hitting where I'm like, I don't like you've got a clone, you got Elizabeth, and then you got two clones of her, and oh my god, it feels like Horizon is trying not to be cheesy. So what I've played of it is like this doesn't feel like this would be in line with the tone.
From what I played, it seems perfectly fine to me, but I don't know. Maybe I could be off on it.
No, I mean to be fair,
Also
to
don't
be
think
fair, you
I
have
also don't think Aloy's a boring character. I really like Aloy, so
exactly,
she's
that's what I
one
was
of my
gonna say.
favorite.
We have a difference in that character, and we also have a difference in the
Yeah.
game. So, also, you've played it way more than I have, which
Yes.
I feel. I'm sorry.
Yes. I have put my 20 hours into it already. And I'll probably put another 20
I
hours.
feel like I put 20 hours.
Yeah, fair.
God, okay. Horizon 2 is what did I expect out of 10?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna give it a score yet because I'm still a bit torn on it. It's still very good though. Like I said, it's probably gonna be a top 5 game of the year for me, but we'll see.
Okay. Immediately after, because I was well, okay, not immediately after Horizon 2. Returnal was right in between the two games. So after I played a little bit of Horizon 1 and went, oh no, my opinion has dropped, I decided to boot up and install Returnal because it's like, well, Returnal, that is a very sound design game. Let's go ahead and see what that sounds like in here. And it sounds fucking great. I am still very annoyed that the PS5 is probably faking how audio is sent to the receiver, and then also my receiver is interpreting that audio and figuring out what to send to the ceiling. The reason I mention this is because Xbox actually does have Dolby Atmos in games, which means that the games themselves will tell the receiver to go, oh, this audio will go to the ceiling speakers, this audio will go here, instead of how PS5 does it, which is that it's like, the audio will go there, and then on top of that, my receiver goes, yeah, it'll go there. So I am very annoyed that a game like Returnal doesn't have that, which good job, Phil Spencer. You got a compliment out of me. Good job. So Returnal, first off, the audio, fucking hot. I'm still really happy that even through the fake tricks that PlayStation does and through my receiver faking the audio, it still sounds fucking awesome. This is somewhat related, somewhat not. I'm talking about Elden Ring later, but Elden Ring, I stopped for a second and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. It was really fucking cool to walk out of the room and still hear one of the ceiling speakers firing audio, because when I walk out of the room, it becomes obvious that this entire theater room is basically a bubble of audio. So walking in and out, it's like, ooh, that's hot. Part of me wants to actually try that with Returnal, where it feels like as soon as you walk into the room, you're jumping into an audio bubble. And Returnal, I probably am going to jump into it again because Returnal is so fucking fun that I think I'm just gonna keep it installed on my PS5 for a good amount of time, because Returnal is a fun game. Yes, I don't really care about the story or anything, but it's still so fun that it feels like I can pick it up and then play for a little bit, have a long ass run, die, and then just be like, yeah, that was fun, and then drop it. And I honestly think I'm gonna do that because sometimes I'm restless. I don't know what I want to do. Fuck it, let's have a run in Returnal. So yeah, Returnal has probably just earned its spot on my PS5. Is just always gonna be on there, and I know at some point I'm gonna buy an SSD to toss into my PS5. So maybe it may have a temporary delete for a little bit, but if whenever the hell I buy an extra SSD, Returnal is going to get reinstalled. So Returnal has gotten kind of a good spot on my PS5 that it's going to just stay on there probably for the rest of the generation. And you know what? Huge compliment to Returnal on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about Returnal a lot on
Mm-hmm.
this show and how much I adore that game, especially for a game that I shouldn't like. Like, that's not usually to my tastes of games, but it's fantastic. So it's still my game of the year last year. Um, and yeah, it's phenomenal. I want more of it. I would love an excuse to reinstall it. I don't think I'm just going to jump back into it, but if there's DLC or the rumored co-op shit or whatever, I will day one that, and I will definitely get back to Returnal because I love that world and I want more of it. So good,
I
great
will
stuff.
say this right now that if there is a co-op, we're doing that shit.
Oh, 100%. And I mean like actually wanting to do that shit, not Resident Evil 6, which we both use every trick in the book to avoid
God,
playing.
when the fuck are we gonna get back to that, dude? Elden Ring is just so fucking good that now any other game's just like, I don't
Good.
know if I'm ever gonna get to
I
that.
hope that I hope Elden Ring consumes you forever. If that's the price it takes, then that's the price it takes.
It's my life is probably going to be Returnal and Super Mario 3D World. Like that's what it's going to be moving forward. Oh fucking shit! I didn't put Mario 3D World on here. Um, you know what? Fuck it, it's here
Bing
now.
bing
Mario 3D
wahoo.
World. Bing bang wahoo! Yeah, we really still fucking fun. My opinion hasn't changed. There we go. We did it. Yeah. Okay. So Returnal. Yeah. Eternally installed out of 10.
Yeah, so it's a 9 out of 10, still my game of the year.
All right. Perfect. I have three things left.
I've got 4, so we're nearly there. I'll do one then.
Okay. You go first.
Let's do The Shape of Water, Guillermo
Oh,
del Toro's 2017 Oscar winner. So this is my second
the
watch.
Bioshock adaptation.
Yeah, Bioshock adaptation. This is my second watch. The first time I don't know if I've told the story on here, but the first time I ever watched this, I watched this in theaters, and it was kind of the perfect place, perfect time, perfect movie for me. I had just quit a really shitty job and gotten a much better one, and I was like, and I literally it was my last day. I left, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the movie theater and watch something because there was a theater right across the street from my work. I went there and I decided on Shape of Water, and I fucking adored it. So this is my second watch since then. I was always worried it wouldn't hold up as much, and if I'm being completely honest, it didn't. But I still love it. It's still really great. It's just not my favorite of 2017 anymore. 2017 is actually a really, really strong year for movies. There's a lot of really good shit there. So unfortunately, even dropping it half a star, which is what ended up happening, it kind of plummeted it down the list a lot, to be honest with you. But I still really love this movie. The I literally you stole it from me in my notes. I've got the atmosphere, which is it is very Bioshock like. It's I don't want
Yeah.
a Bioshock movie. I have this. This is good enough for me. It's one of my favorite atmospheres in any movie. The story in this and just the way it unfolds, it's basically a romantic kind of like horror kind of I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Almost Lovecraftian in some ways with the creatures and all that stuff. It's really well done. You don't usually get this kind of like joy and heart from Del Toro. Like his movies are usually a lot more darker and cynical, but I don't know. There was just something that was so lovely about this, and I'm glad he finally got recognition for it. Even if it's not my favorite picture of 2017 anymore, the man deserved his Oscar, and now he's kind of got that "fuck you" about Oscar cred. So he was able to make Nightmare Alley, even though it bombed like shit, which sucks. But yeah, Shape of Water is amazing. I love this movie. There's so many good performances in it, and yeah, it's still a great movie.
This was during the Movie Pass days, so I actually watched this one in theaters. First off, shout out to the Movie Pass days. Holy shit, I watched so many fucking movies. Um, The Shape of Water. It's a very good movie. This is probably going to go in the same realm as Birdman, where it's like, I'm probably never going to think of this again. And that's the thing. It's still really good. So I don't even mean that as an insult. It's just like, yeah, that was very good. You, I did definitely kneecap you with the Bioshock thing, but I remember even thinking that when I was sitting in the theaters, I was like, man, the aesthetic of the water and the like the pipes and like all this is like, oh my god, this is just so Bioshock right down to the aesthetic. But Shape of Water, it's just really fucking good. And uh is there anything else I can say? Oh yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna give my score, and my score is gonna be a spoiler. So 3, 2, 1. You convince me that that woman should fuck that fish out of 10.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, no, just it's a warm movie. It's comfort food for me now at this point, and I'm glad I got it. I got a nice Steely for it too, so that's cool. So it's still a 4 out of 5 for me. An excellent movie.
Okay. Next. No. I was gonna go for the only movie I was positive on, but I'm just gonna save that for later because I don't want it to be sandwiched between shit, even though that's how I watched it. Um, Alita Battle Angel. I hadn't seen my best friend in a while. He's been wanting to watch this. I bought it back in like December, and it felt like, you know what? It's finally time. This movie, people are people have talked about it like, oh man, it's a bit of a sleeper, this movie, you don't expect it to be better than it is, but it is. And you know what? I was distracted the entire fucking time by that girl's eyes. I fucking hated it. I was fuming just looking at her eyes, because like sometimes it looks really good, other times it looks off, and I was so distracted this entire movie by trying to figure out why it looks wrong. And every single time the movie would kind of bust my theory about why it looks wrong, and it would be like, oh well, the cheekbones aren't moving, and then eventually she smiles and the cheekbones move, like, oh okay, well that's not it. And then other times, like, oh, there's no forehead wrinkling, and then in some scenes it does, and it's like, oh well, that busts it. Oh, it's the spot right below the eyes, right where the nose bridge, and that's not moving. And actually, I feel like that was the closest theory I had, which is that some of the spots of the face don't move whenever they animated it. It doesn't exactly help that you'll have scenes where you see her face and then they cut over to Christoph Waltz, and Christoph Waltz, he's a bit of an older gentleman. You can see the wrinkles and the divots in his face. So whenever he's talking, you see all this natural movement that you don't stop to think about because it's a person's face. You just kind of know how they move. So then they go back to her face and it's just like, this doesn't look right. This looks wrong. And that was pretty much almost the entire movie for me, just looking at her eyes and going, I don't know what was going on in this movie at all, because I was just distracted by that thing the entire time. Was there a plot? Were there actors acting? Maybe Jennifer Connelly and Christoph Waltz, but anyone else, I don't think there was anything about them that made them compelling to me at all. Lapidus from Lost was there. I was like, oh, it's fucking Lapidus. I'm so happy to see you, and that you're still getting a paycheck. Then I looked at his filmography and I was like, oh man, I don't know you from anything else besides Lapidus. Oh well, that's okay. Um, Alita Battle Angel honestly just left me feeling nothing. The I was about to say the gameplay. The action of this movie also doesn't feel like it really has any energy that I care about. It's like, yeah, this is action. Yeah, this feels competent. The only thing I'll compliment it on is that the game. That's the thing. A lot. You know what? Fuck it. If I say game and I slip again, whatever. Because I'm not gonna lie. Some of these scenes with the CGI, it's like, oh man, this is a really dope Blizzard or Bungie cutscene that you're playing right now. Look at the high end graphics that you're using here. And then occasionally an actor walks in, you're like, ah, shit, that's a real person. I forgot we're not watching a cutscene. Um, yeah, this movie just is a complete fucking miss for me. And the ending of the movie, I feel like I need to say it because honestly, it's the moment that I lost my shit, because I was like, I actually think I hate this movie now. I was pretty much just like, this sucks. This is just, man, whatever. I didn't go into full overdrive hatred until the ending, where Alita cries, a tear falls off of her, a slow motion shot of the tear, and then she slices the tear in half, and then it cuts to her face looking determined. I was like, that might have been the worst shit I've seen in years. And that was the moment where I went, I fucking hate this movie. I hate this movie. I never want this movie to exist. Thank God it bombed that we don't get a sequel. James Cameron, just go back to the Avatar movies if this is what you're gonna do on your off time as a producer.
Yeah, I still want to see this movie. It's on my watch list. So I put my headphones down for the spoiler. I missed it, so I hope I didn't hear it. Yeah,
Wait, did I
look,
say the ending? Was it the ending or what?
the ending. Yeah, I put my
Oh,
headphones down, so I'm
oh,
fine.
okay, look, it's actually like a small moment. It doesn't spoil anything
Oh, okay,
story-wise. It's
okay.
a
I didn't hear.
movement that's okay.
Just in
Would you
case
like
I
me to
didn't.
tell you again?
I didn't hear it again. Um,
Okay.
look, look, I don't know much about this movie at all. The only thing I know is the trailers and her horrible eyes, and I was like, oh man, I got to see this one day because of that. And that's literally, and that's literally all I know about this movie, and that Christoph Waltz is in it. So I will check it out one day just for sheer curiosity. I'll probably hate it too. It looks really anime, so yeah,
Dude,
I don't know.
okay, so obviously it's based on a manga, and I think the reasoning in the quick googling that I did is like, well, it's a manga, so her eyes are going to be like that. It's like, well, then why doesn't everyone else look like that?
Yeah, that's not a really good reason. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. Her eyes look like shit. I don't like it. Those trailers always bothered me for that movie.
Man, so yeah, Alita Battle Angel. Honestly, if I hadn't already sent the Steelbook package already, I would have tossed this one in there with like just extreme prejudice.
Maybe it's good that you sent it already. uh,
Also, I will say this though, the actual physical presentation of it. I don't mean like cinematography. I mean like literally like the technical aspects of this movie, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, the I guess even some of the color grading. Like this is a very good 4K cut. Like this is very well done. That's as nice as I can get because honestly, I don't really ever want to think about this movie again, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't remember. Oh, a tear getting cut in half out of 10.
googly eyes out of 10.
Okay, go.
Let's talk about Tick Tick Boom.
Ooh.
So Tick Tick Boom. This is the Andrew Garfield now Netflix original movie, which is usually finally
Pull
though.
the collar.
Finally though, it's one I don't hate from Netflix. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big musical guy. Not a big musical guy. But Andrew Garfield literally hard carries this entire movie into really great territory for me. He's fantastic. I love Andrew Garfield. He's one of my favorite actors. I love seeing him do good shit. This is good shit. Is it amazing? Maybe not, but he's good enough for me that everything else is great. He's got pipes. I did not know the boy could sing, but goddamn, the boy can sing, which is really cool to see. And yeah, it's just interesting. This is the story of Jonathan Larson, who made Rent, which is one of the most famous musicals of all time,
Oh,
and it's tragic because he never got to even see Rent, which I didn't even realize. He died at such a young age, and he never got to see the success it became. And it's basically that story of that. And it's tough, especially in my place in my life right now, where I'm 30 now, and God knows how much longer I have left. Hopefully, not long. But it
5,
it really hits home.
4.
Yeah. It really hits home, and it's just really well made. And yeah, there's just a lot of heart to it. You can tell the guy, I think the guy who did it, Lin-Manuel, I think he's
Lin-Manuel
really
Miranda.
yeah, I think he's really famous for Broadway shit. I actually don't know him that well, but I think he's very famous for that type of stuff. And this is actually one of the first movies he's full on directed, and he did a really good job. It's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Andrew Garfield, man, he deserves the Best Actor nomination for this. He won't win it because the Oscars are stupid. It'll be fucking Benedict Cumberbatch for fucking Power of the Dog, but but Garfield deserves it, and he did absolutely fantastic in this movie. So definitely, even if you don't like musicals like me, this is one I can easily recommend because there's a lot of heart here, and Andrew Garfield is phenomenal.
I will get to it at some point. Honestly, I was thinking that I was going to do it after Power of Dog and Don't Look Up, so I could be like, well, maybe Netflix isn't too bad, but it seems like the last 2 weeks was a tradition of just shit after shit after shit after shit. And I was like, I feel really bad for Police Story being in the middle of these 2 weeks, because it's like this was really bad, and now I have to remember that Police Story was just surrounded in a whole bunch of shit. So I honestly think that Tick Tick Boom might actually be maybe next episode. I don't know. We'll kind of see, because Elden Ring is really going to throw shit a lot out of whack pretty soon. So Tick Tick Boom is going to be I'm please give Andrew Garfield his roses out of 10.
Yes, yes, very well deserved.
Okay.
You're next.
Yes. Police Story. Holy shit, Police Story kicks ass. What everyone really likes about John Wick, with everything being done on camera and the actual actors doing it themselves, uh, Jackie Chan laughs in your face. Police Story is fucking incredible. The one thing that you need, okay, now Criterion isn't exactly a badge of like, oh, this is gonna be good, because the Criterion Collection occasionally has some bad movies in there. However, the fact that Police Story is so much literally just generic, like it's in the title, generic police story, but the fact that it's directed by Jackie Chan, it stars Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan has his team of stuntmen working in that movie with him, which means that they're putting in 110% as much as he is, means that you're getting something that has a generic framework, but is done with so much charm and talent on screen that you cannot help but cheer for this movie every single time that Jackie Chan does something that's like, wow, you probably really hurt yourself doing that, and you did that for us. Police Story is fucking incredible. I honestly love this movie now. I have a 3-tiered ranking system when it comes to Letterboxd. One, I watched it. You existed. You are lucky that I don't have a lower tier saying if I hate you or not. Two, I saw it and I liked it. Yeah, I saw it. I liked it. Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed that. I feel like depending on the person, I could recommend that. And then there's I saw it, I liked it, and then 5 stars. That's my way of saying this is top tier. Like, if you look at all the 5-star movies that I've given, this is the stuff where this is my taste. You want to know about the stuff that makes me just go, wow, I fucking love movies. Those are the movies in there. Police Story is another one. So far, I think I've gone 2 movies so far this year that are things that's like, man, I love this, and this is why I love movies. One of them is Police Story. The other one is Ran. So honestly, kudos to Police Story. Even without having watched Police Story 2, Police Story will be going in my collection. Absolutely. And the Criterion Collection actually comes with both movies. So Police Story 2 will be happening at some point as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta check this movie out. It's actually on Crave, so it's on my list. It's on my watch list of things to watch. I was actually on a poll not too long ago, but unfortunately did not win the poll, so I did not watch it. Forget what I
By
watched
the way,
instead.
I do want to mention that when it comes to polls, my mind usually goes to, what do I want to hear you talk about eventually here? So
Yeah,
it's never exactly in your best interest. It's more in my best interest.
yeah. Which shout out to Hacksaw Ridge. That'll be next.
Yeah,
But
Hacksaw Ridge. I was like, I want to hear your opinion on that one. I'm going to vote for
y-
Hacksaw Ridge.
yeah, so that'll be. We will definitely be hearing that on the next episode. I might watch that today, actually, or tomorrow, one of these days. But yeah, though, I think I definitely want to check that out. I love Jackie Chan. That just seems like it's going to be a good time. So, unfortunately, I don't have much more to say about that because I need to watch it. But you will hear my thoughts on that very soon because it is on my list and it's watchable. So,
uh, honestly, Police Story is going to be a Kino out of 10. I have to. This is going to get a Kino out of 10.
the shelf out of 10.
That too.
Yeah, it'll be I'll watch soon out of 10 for sure.
All right. So no, that was Police Story for me. I only have one thing left. So back to you.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man.
Ooh, dope,
Yes.
dope.
Yes, this is dope. I really like this actually. So
This
yeah,
one was one I voted where I kind of felt like this was more. This is going to be up your alley way more than I want to hear you talk about it.
yeah, no, I enjoyed this actually. So this is by Leigh Whannell. Leigh Whannell, I don't know.
Lee Winnell is what the way I always
Leigh
read it.
Whannell, which I actually didn't realize before watching, but yeah, he's the same guy that did Upgrade, which I wasn't very fond of.
And also one of the writers for the original Saw movies, and also Adam
Yes.
in the first Saw movie.
Yes, correct. But this was great. I really, really enjoyed this. Dare I say it was a upgrade over upgrade.
I think the show's canceled. I don't get to talk about Elden Ring now. Fuck.
Oh man, I kill myself. Yeah. So,
I know you will after that one.
yeah, I know.
I'm gonna fucking
Elizabeth
Epstein you for
Moss.
that one.
Yeah, just bleep it. Um, Elizabeth Moss. I love Elizabeth Moss. She's great in Mad Men. It's good to see her doing other things, and she's great in this. What I really like about this though is they take such a ridiculous concept of a movie, like just ridiculous concept of a movie, and not only do they make it work, but they make like some of the shots in this movie are so great. Like you get at the start, you get those long kind of like just kind of slow pans over to a spot where there's nothing there, but you know there's
Unease.
something there, and it's very uneasy, and it's so well done. And even if the movie goes off the rails a little bit in the second half, that first half is so strong for me that I really ended up enjoying this movie and having a good time with it. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a good time you have with this movie. There's lots of unsettling things in there. And it kind of, like I said, the end, it goes a little bit off the rails for me and gets a little bit over the top. But I don't know, man. It was still fun. There's some big moments in this movie where it was just like, oh, holy shit, I did not expect that to happen. One particular one kind of smack down in the middle of the movie. That's pretty fucking great. And yeah, I don't know. They just did a really good job with this. It's a remake, apparently. Most people prefer the original, so I'll have to go back and watch the original one day. But yeah, I don't know. This was just a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Here's the thing. I think The Invisible Man, even though it's a remake, it's like it's one of those things where it's been more than like 50, 60, 70 years. So it's like, yeah, sure, it's a remake, but also it's probably something that doesn't really have the rights to it anymore. So it's a lot like a Robin Hood where of course it's gonna get another remake at some point because it's a free idea. It's free real estate. So I don't exactly think that's really something to hold against it if there's you know it's a remake, whatever. It's okay. So The Invisible Man, I think this one actually was one of the first movies that got fucked by the pandemic where theaters started shutting down, and I think this was one of the first ones that Universal used to stab theaters by like, we're gonna just do a day and date, and theaters were like, what the fuck are you doing? um the Invisible Man is very good. I feel like it's sadly another one that falls into that valley of like, yeah, this is very good. I'm probably never going to think about this again. But it's not to take away from it. Like if it were on and that's the thing. I feel like I should say this for all three of those movies. If it's on, I'm not going to be mad that it's on. I'm just going to go, oh well, you know what? Yeah, okay, yeah, I can watch that. That's okay. If I'm not doing anything else. But yeah, The Invisible Man is something that I love it whenever you can take something and then you can inject it with a good message. Sounds too pretentious, but also meta narrative is too strong because it's not exactly like it's that hard to understand that the movie's about abuse. So I just like it whenever it has something extra on its mind. Let's say it like that. When it comes to this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree with that. I like I said, it's just there's a message behind the movie. It's done very well. You're right though. Like, am I going to rush out to buy this and add it to my collection? No, I'm not. But I mean, I don't have the same standard you do. So if I find this movie for like 10-15 bucks on 4K, I'll probably grab it. I liked it.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm ridiculous about standards. So, like, most of the stuff that I don't like, it's like, well, yeah, you're the only one. It's like, yeah, I know that. I'm fighting a losing battle here. Um, the Invisible Man is, Lee Winnell, tell us whenever your next project's coming. And I kind of hope that you don't have a global pandemic fuck the box office for it out of 10.
It's a 4 out of 5 for me. I really enjoy it. So, good stuff.
Okay. All right. Last one. Last one.
Oh,
What? No, no.
I have a movie. Do you want me to get that out of the way?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Do that. Whoops. Whoops. Never mind. We're too early on the hole.
All right, so my next one is oh, Call Me by Your Name, by
Oh yeah. Whoops. Whoops.
by the great Italian director Luca Guda.
Hmm.
No, we're not even going to try. You want to try?
Luca Gudaheim.
There you go. Okay.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna try. Call Me by Your Name. Where
Gudagino?
is this?
Gudagnino?
Gudagino? Gudagino? No, wait, no.
Gudagnino?
There's only one G. Gudagnino? Luca
Yeah,
Gudagnino. That
there you
feels
go.
right.
We'll go with that. So look, I got beef against this director. I do. I do. I have beef for multiple reasons. First of all, he's remaking Scarface, which I fucking hate. So that's a whole other story. But the bigger hate is he remade one of my favorite movies of all horror movies of all time in Suspiria. Now, Sam, shout out to you. I know you're going to listen to this and start bitching right away, but look, the remake of Suspiria is fine. It just shouldn't have been called Suspiria. It's not Suspiria. It's a completely different movie, and there was no reason for him to fucking call it Suspiria. And it's not as good as the original, in my opinion. So fuck you, not you, Sam. Well, yeah, you too, Sam, but more Luca. Now, so that all that shit being said, I watched Call Me by Your Name. This movie though is utterly fantastic, and it's so good. This is the movie basically, about the gays, but I still love it. It's still so well done. Timothy
Look,
Chalamet.
I know that I occasionally have beef with the gays, but I want you to say that gays, we love you here at Pass the Pixels. Or actually, to be fair, more accurately, we hate you as much as we hate everyone else here. Okay,
Exactly.
True equality. It's
True,
just your
hate for all.
movies.
Hate for all. So Timothy Chalamet's in this and is great. Actual human cannibal Army Hammer is good in this as well. There's there's so much to love about this movie.
Keep going. You rolled right through the joke. Keep going.
There's just the thing about this is it's just really the way it's shot actually does feel like a love letter to gay people and kind of what they were going through back in the 80s. And it's really well made in that regard. The story here, it's kind of like Minari in a way, where it's just kind of a very methodical and dreamlike the way it's shot, and you just kind of go from piece to piece, and it's very slice of life-ish. But just the content in this one hit a lot harder for me. um and the ending of this movie is a gut punch, and it's so well done. And yeah, man, I don't know, there's a lot to love with this movie. It's definitely, I want to watch it again. I'm still debating on if I want to buy the Blu-ray on it. I hate buying Blu-rays, especially when they're over $20. It just feels dirty to me. But I might for this movie because it was really fucking great. And it exceeded most of my expectations. I didn't expect to really like this movie, but especially because of the director attached to it. But yeah, no, this movie is absolutely outstanding.
I'm ready to give up my beef with the gays to watch Call Me by Your Name. Gays, you burned me a little bit with Moonlight. Okay, I think I'm ready to be loved again. Out of 10.
Well, this is a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Absolutely fantastic movie, and one I would highly recommend checking out. No matter kind of how you, I don't know, I understand. I understand you might think, oh, it's one of these movies that it's going to just preach about gay rights and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. It's just a really nicely, warmly done movie about a young boy kind of figuring out which direction he wants to go in life, and it's very well made. So,
I don't
and Timothy
really think
Chalamet's also.
it's. I don't really dislike the gay movies because of the we deserve rights too. It's more of just that Moonlight was that breaking point of like, yeah, don't worry, we gay people are people too. And it's like, yes, I've known this for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything else with the promise of gay? And they're like, we're people. Like, yes, I fucking know this. Are you going to do anything special with it? So I'm kind of hoping that Call Me by Your Name is just, yeah, it's a relationship that's gay. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of hoping that gay isn't a focal point to it.
Look, I really like Moonlight too more than you, but this is better. So I think you'll definitely get more enjoyment out of this movie for sure.
Honestly, whenever you can give me a rom-com between two gay leads and it's not a focal point of the story, we did it. Racism. Yeah, fuck it. You know what? Racism is done. We solved it.
Oh fuck!
God
We're off the rails now. Fuck.
That's how it goes.
Army. While we're here, just stop eating people, man. Not cool. You're a good actor, man.
Army.
This sucks. Stop eating people, please.
Army, we know you're listening right now. Army, look me in the eye. Don't try to bite my eye, but just listen. You need to stop eating people. You're a good-looking man. You could have a good career in Hollywood. Do you realize that if you stopped eating people, you could probably have enough money to get food that's a lot like eating people? Like, you can probably have like vegan tofu that's flavored like people. Like, so honestly, and also if you become a big tech giant instead, when you invest all your money, you could probably eat people and have it not ruin your career. So you should really think this through.
Agreed.
Okay. Is it time for the whole Elden Ring?
Okay. Do your thing now. Go.
Okay. Oh, Elden Ring. I didn't think I was gonna play this game. I thought I was gonna play it. Well, I didn't. No, I didn't think I was gonna buy this game. uh, day one. However, with the glowing praise that the game got, but that's the thing, not just the glowing praise, but specifically that people that were talking about this game were mentioning things were different enough from the rest of the From games that going to this one might actually be your entry point. And it's like, okay, you know what? Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I've tried all four of these games, and honestly, Dark Souls is probably the one I didn't like because I felt slow playing it. Bloodborne, by the time that I beat the first boss, I was like, I don't really care. I'm fine. Uh, Demon Souls, though, and Sekiro were the ones that I tried the most recently. Dark Souls, I tried it back on the 360, so that should tell you how long ago it was. Bloodborne, I tried it probably 2016. Yeah, 2016 or so. So that's been a while. Uh, Sekiro and Demon Souls were within the last few years, and those were the ones that kind of clicked with me closer. I'm not gonna say clicking is too strong. I'm just gonna say I think I understood it better. Demon Souls, those parries are hot, and I just really didn't like the boss run. I don't like dying and then you gotta run all the way back there to get one shot at again and then just keep trying to learn what you did wrong. And it's the run that bothers me. Sekiro has shorter runs to the boss, which I enjoyed, but also the gameplay wasn't enough for me to want to throw myself at the wall over and over again. The environments weren't enough to kind of get me into it, and neither was the music. So really, I only had the gameplay that I thought was exceptional. And what I've recently noticed over the last few years is that I'm not a story person. I'm not a gameplay person. I'm a do 2 to 3 things done so exceptionally that I want to keep playing. And I feel like that's really the best way to describe it. Sekiro had gameplay. I don't really know if anything else was exceptional that I cared about. Demon Souls, honestly, the parry alone. Everything else in that game, I was like, this is kind of whatever. Uh, Elden Ring has the environment, the music, and the gameplay and the presentation. And it's not something I expected. I am maybe 4.5 hours in. Even though From games, at least, the Soulsborne games, are specifically really fucking hard, the fact that Elden Ring is open world, it always means that very it's very difficult for you to probably bottleneck yourself into something that is hard because you can always just go do something else. You're never really locked into it. Now, this is something that kind of speaks to me because I feel like a game that is like, this is going to be fucking hard. You're going to fucking do this. I'm like, I'm fine. Any game that's like, yeah, this is going to be ass blastingly hard, but also you could walk away from it. My brain goes, okay, I'm not going to walk away from it. And I'm going to kill this fucker way earlier than I should because I can. So literally you can have the same difficulty there, but if you present it as a choice, I will probably basically throw myself over and over again at the brick wall until it breaks, which I did because very early on in the game, after you do the initial tutorial section, at least what I think is the tutorial section, because I don't really understand From games at all, and this is one where I'm basically asking very basic questions like, how do I level up? What is my level? What do these stats mean? So etc., etc. But there was a moment where I guess when you get to the open world where there's a big enemy fucker who you really shouldn't mess with. Um, I spent an hour and a half fighting him because I could, and I won. And it's that kind of shit that I like, where a game goes, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Maybe if you come back and try later, and then instead I'm already trying to fight them for the 14th time. Um, Something that reminded me of this was that in God of War, when you get into the open world, one of the rifts open up and you're fighting level 7 or level 8 enemies, and you're like at most level 3 at this point. And you know what I did? I fought those fuckers and I beat them. I didn't get hit a single fucking time because you had to do it perfectly, but that's just the kind of person I am. If you give me the option to fight something that I realistically could beat if I played perfectly or got hit once or twice, I'm going to do it. And the Elden Ring is kind of scratching that part of my brain where it's like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to put myself through hell. And the fact that I don't have to is enough for me to want to put myself through hell. So somehow from cracked me, they figured out what exactly I like and they did it. They fucking did it. Honestly, even just talking about it right now, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I would much rather be playing Elden Ring right now. I probably need to go do some grocery shopping. I should probably go and make sure that my wife is paid attention to, but also I really want to keep playing Elden Ring because I want to say that maybe it's that the gameplay is faster. I'm playing as a samurai and oh my god, it's pretty much like playing Sekiro. So in other words, they took what was probably the closest I got to understanding. They took that gameplay and then dropped it into Elden Ring as the samurai class, and I am super in. I'm really liking this game way more than I thought, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. In those 4.5 hours, I swear that I feel like that was 30 minutes compared to the 72 hours that I spent in the 90 minutes of Horizon 2. Uh, I'm very excited for this game, and I want to keep playing.
So let me start off by saying video games are terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
first off, sorry. I should have prefaced that entirely. Games fucking terrible. They melt your brain, and it's the entire reason that Russia invaded Ukraine.
yeah, let's start with that, okay?
Mhm.
Because I feel like there's been too much game positivity on this episode, and I don't like it. So we'll start
Disgusting.
there.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's the thing with Elden Ring, and to bring it back to Horizon and just in general, and I think I've been doing a lot of thinking about this over the past few days specifically.
Mhm.
Shout out or non shout out to the awesome Discord for that.
Mhm.
Um, because it's just been kind of a toxic hellhole about both games, to be honest with you.
That's how it goes.
And yeah, that is how it goes, but it's fucking annoying, honestly. And it's gotten to the point where I feel like the I don't even okay, how do I put this? I am torn on a game like Elden Ring for myself because there's so many things that I think I would hate, but then there are also things about it that kind of appeal to me. And it's gotten to the point now where all of this bickering and all of this just meta shit about it is just turned me off to the point where I don't even know if I want to try it anymore. And
Mm.
it's gotten to the point now where I went and borrowed Demon Souls from my friend, and I'm probably going to try that first because it's free. Like we had that discussion yesterday, and I can just try that because it's free and kind of see what I think about that. Even though these are different types of games, I guess Elden Ring's more open world, but a
Mm.
Souls game is a Souls game is a Souls game after all. Although there might be different things to appeal to each person within that.
Demon Souls feels a lot slower though. Like even
Yeah,
so when I played Demon Souls, I tried like I asked people like what's the quickest thing? They're like, "Oh, you can be a thief. That's really quick." So I was playing as thief and I used like this small dagger and that small dagger feels so slower than anything that I was doing as a samurai in Elden Ring. So I don't know how much speed matters to you, but like I specifically didn't vibe with Dark Souls because it feels so slow to move that I'm like, oh, I don't really like this.
fair. I don't think speed's a huge problem for me. Where I was specifically going was, I think, okay. So obviously they're difficult. We know that about FromSoft games. They're punishingly difficult, and
Yeah.
I think I've proven to myself over the last little bit with Returnal and then with Cuphead that
Yep.
I'm fine with difficult games. Like if you present me a game that I enjoy the gameplay of and it's difficult, I'm not going to have an issue with that. Like I can get
Yeah.
through it, I can power through it, and I will play and finish that game. It's more story based games. So something like Horizon, for instance, I have no interest in playing that on the hardest difficulty because I'm there for the story. That's when I'm there
Mm.
to experience that, not particularly the gameplay. But if you give me a gameplay focused game and you're like, this is hard, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay. So, and I think where I have an issue with Elden Ring specifically, again, I haven't played it, but, and I'll just say in a general, broader sense from games, what
Uh,
annoys me with these games, I don't think is the difficulty because I think that's fine. I'll fight these bosses. If I need to, whatever, I'll grind, I'll level up. Worst case scenario, and I'll do it then. Right? There's not going to be a wall for me in terms of that. I'll be able to beat the fucking game. In fact, with Bloodborne specifically, I walled at Father G forever. It took me like days to beat that fucker. I finally beat him, and then I dropped the game after that. So it's not that so much. It's where it's at for me is the lack of direction. I feel is going to be the huge hump for me to get over. There is nothing more frustrating in a video game for me personally. And again, this is why people love these games. So it just goes to show you the different tastes. but I can't stand if I'm lost and I don't know where to go in a game. That's a huge stumbling block for me. And I know for other people, that sense of exploration is what makes them enjoy the game and trying to figure out where to go. And, you have to go a bunch of different ways and try to figure out what the fuck you're doing. But that's just so unappealing to me personally. And that's where I think I'm going to have the hardest time with not only Demon Souls, but Elden Ring or whatever I play in general. And to be
Demon
honest with you,
Souls really isn't going to be like that. Elden Ring would give you that issue more than anything else.
yeah, and that's what I think because Elden Ring's open world, and that's giving me flashbacks to fucking Breath of the Wild, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, this is the type of thing where I think basically out of everything I've heard and all the discourse and all this bullshit, I think I have talked myself out of playing Elden Ring, at least for money. My same friend who I borrowed Demon Souls from, he has Elden Ring, he's playing it right now. I'm sure he's loving it. Maybe I will go down the line and borrow it from him at some point too and give it a shot then. I don't think I'm gonna pay money for it though. I just can't see it being for me. And then just as a larger, I think that's fine, and I don't understand. Like, I know a lot of it's done for memes and just to have fun and to bullshit, and I get that, but like, I'm not like, I don't want to be the person that goes in now to a conversation and be like, yo, fuck Elden Ring because this game's not for me and I haven't played it. I think that's stupid, and I'm not going to personally do that anymore. And I think it's great that people are enjoying Elden Ring, just like I think it's great that people are enjoying Horizon. Obviously, you didn't. You tried it for an hour and 20 minutes, so you've got
I
that in your
try
pocket
not to
now.
shit talk games that I know that I'm never going to like, but the fact that I
Yeah.
played it now means that I'm not going to immediately shit on it, but I am going to just kind of give it a look of like restraint. Come on, Edwin,
Yeah.
remember your training.
But you couldn't have two more different games in terms of approaches than Horizon and Elden Ring. And so I think it is pretty funny that those two games are coming out so close together at the same time. And naturally and unfortunately is getting all this comparison bullshit and just fanboy nonsense to go with both games. I'm gonna be honest with you, I still Sony, and don't get me wrong, Sony fanboys are fucking horrendous people too. I don't like them.
Fanboys in general, people who
Fanboys are
blindly love
horrible.
something are the
I
worst.
can't I can't stand it. But I still think FromSoft fanboys are some of the worst too, and I can't stand them either. So it just, this whole conversation has become like poisonous to me and toxic. But all of that being said, I've got Demon Souls here. I'm going to install it. I don't know when I'm going to play it. Like, I'm going to finish Forbidden West first, and then I got a decision to make because I wanted to jump right into Cyberpunk, but I don't know, maybe I'll try Demon Souls. We'll see. Will I like Demon Souls? I give it about a fucking 3 to 10% chance, honestly, if I'm being completely honest. But I feel like I do want to give it one more chance because the only other two games I played were Bloodborne and the original Dark Souls, actually.
Oh,
And those were both long enough ago that I feel like personally, as of late, have had a new appreciation for harder games.
hmm.
So I want to give them that second chance. Hopefully, I can get past some of the obtuseness of it, but we'll see.
Okay, so this is my question because okay, no, you know what? It'll be two parts. One, in Breath of the Wild, did you never see? That's the thing. I know that you like the plateau, and it's only when you get out of the plateau that you're like, right?
Correct.
Okay, so whenever you were still in the opening area, did you ever just kind of walk around, see a point of interest, and then just start heading in that direction, or no?
No.
No. Oh, wow. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Then the next part for Fallout, because this is the only other touchstone that I can have. In Fallout, did you ever just wander around, or did you always just go like, that's the town. I'm just headed there now.
At the start, like, so this is the thing with these open world games. At the start, I would just kind of explore a little, bounce around. But I would say by like, there's usually a point where I'm like, okay, no, I just want to kind of go town to town and finish up what I'm trying to do.
Okay, that's so weird to think about because I know that there would be a time with this almost every game where it's like, I'm going to try everything, this. Specifically, like with the story that I always tell about Mass Effect 2 about how I got everyone killed and told myself I'd start over if I fuck Miranda. There would be so many games where I would just, yeah, let's do the main story, let's do side quests, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I've done enough of this that I just need to stop, do the main story, and then continue. So it's very weird hearing that. I don't even know what I was saying with that, but anyways, yeah, okay. Elden Ring, don't. Don't. You're gonna be wasting your time if you do. You might have a better chance with Sekiro, but like Elden Ring has been so much clicking my brain where it's like I'll walk around. I'm like, oh shit, is that a castle? Okay, I'll just head there, and then I'll walk around. I'll see enemies. I'm like, ooh, enemy. I'm gonna go fight him, and then I find more enemies and I fight them more, and then I find a cave in the wall. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I go in there and I get utterly demolished by a bunch of little stone demons that I didn't know were there until they fucking kill me. I was like, oh well, now I know they're there. I walk out of the cave and I'm like, okay, yeah, ooh, eagles. I just want to go see that big eagle. And then I realize I'm on a cliffside and I look down and I see this big ass monster on a beachfront. And I'm like, ooh, I might have to go in there and fight him. And then I just keep and then I head to the beachfront. And then when I get to the beachfront, I'm like, oh wait, it's a stone road. Stone roads lead somewhere. Where does this go? And then I accidentally stumbled into the story. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm doing this now. So that is something you were so not into, but honestly, Elden Ring allowing me to just kind of fuck around and figure out what I want to do is just, oh my god, it's just so pleasant. Ugh.
Yeah, I get that. I think, like, and by the way, just to circle back to something you said earlier, the one I really want to try is Sekiro. Like, if
Yeah,
I could try any From game right now, that would be the one I'd be like, okay, I think this has the best shot.
yes,
Unfortunately, I'm not going to pay
I
to have
agree.
that best shot. So that's not going to happen. So Demon Souls, actually, if I try Demon Souls and I hate it, which is what I'm expecting, but if I try Demon Souls and I hate it, I'm actually not going to say that's the last chance, because I think I will go to Sekiro when it's free on Game Pass. Shout out Phil Spencer, uh, next year at some point.
$70
That
billion dollars so you can try Sekiro.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thanks, Phil. Like that, I will actually try, because I think that one probably has the best crack for me. Um, Elden Ring, I just don't think that's gonna be it, because like I think that's just it. I think people just play games for different reasons,
Yeah,
and exploration. I'll be honest with you. That to me sounds like it would be fun if I was playing multiplayer, like a co-op or something like that. But from a
you
single
could.
player
I
perspective,
think you
not.
could.
Mm, mm, I don't know.
Actually, wait, no, I have no idea if you could. I don't know if you can explore completely with the
Yeah,
opening
I
world.
think it's just summoning, so I think you can kind of summon to help with bosses and stuff like that. I don't think it's fully playable co-op, sadly, which would be more appealing to me. If it was like fully playable co-op, that would be more appealing to me, I think, in just the like just being able to talk with somebody while you're fucking doing this shit. That would be appealing to me. But doing it by myself, mm, not for me.
That actually sounds really fucking dope. You just hanging out with the boys and getting ass blasted by this gigantic samurai. Like, oh my god, that actually sounds really fucking dope. The only issue I have with it is that, another person means the difficulty is less there. And honestly, this is where the difficulty is really clicking in my brain. It's fun because, like, I finally got into like a certain rhythm where I got into a boss and I was like, ooh, I can immediately start fighting this guy, or I can just play a little defensively and evasively so I can figure out what his moves are and then I can learn how to counteract them. And it's like, oh my god, did my brain just learn something new to handle for video games? I was like, oh, this is strange. It's like learning a word that's the same across like five different languages. Like, this is going to be useful information.
Yeah, no, I get that. I I don't know, man. I'll just say this. I think it's really cool. Obviously, the game is getting insane amounts of praise, and that's awesome. This whole fucking whatever polish gate, bug gate shit is
Oh,
stupid. Like
shut
yeah,
up. Oh
it's
my
just
god.
it's just so stupid. Like it's like everything else. It's just used to propagate a narrative for fanboys, and that's literally all it is. The game's very good. FromSoft games have always reviewed well. They've never reviewed poorly. They have their fans, and especially and games media is actually doing right by them for once, by assigning the right people to review these games, because you could easily kneecap these games if you wanted to, because From has their dedicated fans, but they are certainly not for everyone. And if you give that game to somebody who would not enjoy that experience, then you're going to start to see very different review score narratives, so to speak. But it's good. You should put this game in the hands that people are most likely going to like it. And it sounds like there's some performance issues on PC, which sucks. But
That's
I
always
mean,
PC though.
that's just PC. PC players don't fucking deserve rights anyways. So fuck 'em.
So going back to something that you had said about either between Cyberpunk or Demon Souls, you really should go Demon Souls because whether you like it or you don't, it's kind of win-win. One, if you don't like Demon Souls, well, now you know you can cross that off your list pretty quickly, and that always feels nice. If you do end up liking it, that means that you're going to spend a lot of time in Demon Souls, which means that Cyberpunk will only get patched even more and more. So it's going to even be better by the time that you're done with Demon Souls if you stick with it for that long.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. So maybe I will. Maybe I will fire up Demon Souls next and give that a crack. And actually, you know what? You might have just talked me into it because here's the thing: Kirby is end of March, and that's obviously day one. I'm playing Kirby. Everyone's playing Kirby. Kirby's going to
That's a
save
fucking
gaming.
movie.
Fuck everyone else.
Exactly.
But um, if I'm playing Cyberpunk, I'm going to be rushing to finish it because I'm going to try finish Horizon this weekend, but it's kind of doubtful now, especially because I conked out for 12 hours last night. I wanted to play last night and I didn't. So it's doubtful I'm going to finish Horizon this weekend. It's probably going to be closer to like next weekend. So at least with Demon Souls, then I could put it on. I'm probably not going to end up enjoying it anyways, but it's something I can play then till Kirby. And there's really not a lot of pressure to finish it. With Cyberpunk, then I'm going to feel rushed and everything like that. So I can just save Cyberpunk till after Kirby. So yeah, I think I just talked myself into it. I'll probably do Demon Souls next and try.
Shane as well. We have not gotten him yet, and eventually maybe we do get him on the show. And all I'll say is thank you for sending me Cyberpunk, but also fuck you for sending me the Lion King remake on DVD and a greatest hit copy of Horizon 1, which
The greatest hit copy was the best part.
I that's the thing. DVD of a movie I don't like, and then greatest hits copy of a game I don't like, Game of the Year edition.
It's
I was,
amazing.
oh my god, opening that I was like, oh no, like this man has actually attacked me. Thank you for Cyberpunk. I will be playing Cyberpunk at some point as well, but Elden Ring is really something that is a vortex of my time that everything else is going to suffer because of it.
Cyberpunk will be good, but I think that's right because especially in April, there's really nothing I have to play in April, and I can't see Kirby being a super long game. So Kirby, and then I can just right into Cyberpunk, and then there's nothing until Goat Spoken. So yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. But just because if people don't know the joke, Forspoken, Addy's going all in on making um, Forspoken into something that's going to be his next Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a game that everyone was down on, but he put full stock in to turn out good. So,
Goat Spoken will be great. I cannot wait for that game.
God, I hope to see that there's a splice up of some of the cutscenes in that put in with Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy.
Oh, that's out soon too, isn't it? Oh, God, it's gonna be. I'm not playing that one, but that
Same. I
should be.
already have my Dark Soul.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, there you go. You got your Elden Ring now.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. So
El-
anything else?
Elden Ring is gonna be a oh, I can't believe it out of 10.
Yeah, it's we'll try Demon Souls out of 10. We're under 3 hours. Congratulations.
Sick. All right, end card.
Hey, look at you. You got to the end of the episode. From episode 0 to the day that I finally get lazy and cancel the show, a big thank you to Joey Rawlings for providing the perfect name for the show. Be sure to always give him thanks, either out loud as you're listening to this, or you can just send him a thank you tweet at boogeyman117_. That's boogeyman117, IE instead of Y, double O. Be sure that it's an underscore, not a dash, 117.